I don't know who wants to start first.
Whoever, you.
So I think I don't know how serious he is in this clip. I don't know how much seriousness I have to take this clip out of.
No,
If it is taken.
he's serious. He's that serious. He's saying that what the content of what he's trying to deliver is maybe shown in an extreme way, but I know his opinion. He says the people are glazing Tekken 7. They have short-term memory. Tekken 7 was horrible. Akuma 2D was dog shit, and Tekken 8 is 5 times better than Tekken 7 in terms of balancing. I have him say this in 4K, by the way.
Yeah. I get that. So I think that the point is that it's true that it always happens that when a new game drops, there is a lot of criticizing about the new game, and always seeing the previous game in a nostalgic eye. Let's call it like that, like a glazing eye of missing the previous game. So on that, maybe it's true, it will maybe also in Tekken 6 has happened, in Tekken 7. That's absolutely true. The problem here is that this thing isn't happening for only nostalgia reasonings. This is happening because of a reason. This is happening with valid criticism about Tekken 8. I think it's not only because of the nostalgic eye. I think that we are criticizing. A lot of people are criticizing Tekken 8 at every skill level. Either at pro level, casual level, mid level. It's not something that's happening only at the highest level of play. I think even casuals or like mid-level players are complaining about the game. I don't know if you guys feel the same, but that's the general opinion I have with the guys I play Tekken with all day.
Yeah, but do you think he is right in calling all the people that say Tekken 8 is bad now into this category? Because
no.
This is like, okay, we are criticizing the game to make it better because it is obviously bad in a specific way, and then they say that we are wrong and we should just stop talking or drop the game. That's basically it.
No, that's not something. That's not a good argument because, of course, all of us, I think, love the game. I think Mike loves the game. I love the game. You love the game. Everybody loves the game.
Wouldn't say I love it. I like it.
Yeah, I don't know.
No, do you love the Tekken franchise?
I love the Tekken franchise. Yeah.
Yeah, it's about the love for the Tekken franchise. This game, I hate it personally.
Yeah, I mean, we always want the best for Tekken. That's the main point. Like, we are not criticizing this game because we want to demolish it, basically, or because we say that the Tekken 7 was the best and Tekken 8 is shit. Tekken 7 had a lot of problems. I think we can all agree on that. And maybe we can go into detail after about all the problems Tekken 7 had. But the thing is that now I think the problems are, like mining the base gameplay of the game. Maybe before, there were some broken characters, there were some broken, stuff. But here, the problem is that the whole game is based around things that are not working at the highest level of play. That's the main problem. So criticizing that is not saying that, I don't know, this reasoning that you cannot criticize this game, otherwise go play the previous game. That's not a real argument. You know what I mean? Like, we are criticizing it not to destroy this game, but to try and make it better, basically.
I don't know why people get so upset when you want to criticize something, and everyone that keeps on saying, "Oh, I hear this every generation." Obviously, you're going to hear it every generation because every generation the game changes, so people are going to have grievances with change. That's normal. Like, people that are saying that as if they've discovered gold is really bizarre to me. It's like when Tekken 7 came out. Yeah. I heard people complain about Tekken Tag 2, but when Tekken Tag 2 was out, people saying that it was a broken mess, this, that, and the other. Like, they're different styles of Tekken, and the thing with Tekken 8 is that Tekken 8, in my opinion, is the biggest departure from the norm for Tekken. That this is the weirdest that Tekken has ever appeared to me at its base, and it's got a whole new system in there that we've never seen before that enforces a whole new style of gameplay. So, of course, people are going to say that despite Akuma being there, it's a very low IQ argument to be telling people that they're talking shit or that they should just be quiet or whatever. When this is for me, Tekken 8's problems are systemic. Tekken 7's problems were not systemic; they were character specific. So they're separate arguments. And I just think people that are telling others to be quiet and not speak about it is really bizarre, considering we all want Tekken to be a good game, and so people should be allowed to voice their opinions. I mean, he's made a living voicing his opinion. I don't know why he's trying to make out like people shouldn't be able to voice theirs.
Yeah, it is. It is like there is one opinion which is the correct one, and I have it. And everyone that criticizes the game instead of, and I noticed that with all the people, not him specifically, the people that glaze the game in an unnatural way, they don't go into the argument what you say. They just try to make you look stupid. That's all the time.
Yeah.
There's nothing else. That's a bad faith conversation even to have. Okay, now I go into the conversation as already the loser that everyone already always complaints about the last game. Wait a minute, we are not trying to destroy this game, we're trying to make it better, and there's obvious things which is wrong with the game. And majority of the people that keep glazing the game can't play the game longer than 2 hours.
That's a fair point. It's what happens. Even the ones defending this game are having a lot of problems. They're saying I'm too loud. I don't know. Maybe
who is too loud, Mike or Blackheart?
Gotta be Blackheart.
I turned you on 80%. That's why.
Okay. Yeah, no, you turn me on 100%. You mean my audio? Oh, sorry.
Yeah, I turned you lower a little bit because you were too loud at the beginning. Okay, go ahead.
Okay, sorry for the bad joke. By the way, I was saying that what was I saying again? Oh no!
Can I just say something before I forget?
Yes.
People keep on bringing up Akuma, but in the entire time that I played Tekken 7, I ran into Akuma a handful of times. Like tournament players were the ones that had to deal with Akuma. The everyday casual person or people in their bedroom just playing the game did not have to deal with Akuma because nobody could use him. And when you did run into him, because he was so difficult to use, I never lost to an Akuma online. They were all shit. There were only the tournament players that could use him. So him saying, "Oh, don't you guys remember Akuma?" No, because I didn't have to deal with him. I didn't have to deal with Geese. I didn't have to deal with any of that shit.
Listen, now check this out. They say Akuma was so bad in Tekken 7. How can you defend Tekken 7? What was Akuma? A meter bar that he even needed to gain into 150-50 on block into a dash on meter EX, which we call now heat dash, into another mix, and making punishable things like Geese, making punishable launchers, I-14, I-15 launchers safe on block just because of the meter. So every time they bring up this dumb argument where they say, yeah, but what about Geese? What about Akuma? What about 2D? Well, guess what, motherfucker? They did that to every character now. And this is what they don't realize, and it's so absurd. Even a pig can understand this concept.
Yep. If your complaint about Tekken 7 is Akuma and Geese, then you're complaining about the entire Tekken 8 system. So you have to pick a lane. And at the end of the day, everybody's going to have their favorite Tekkens. Like I put a poll out and some people said Tekken 3. I said Tekken Tag 2. Some people said Tekken 5. It doesn't mean that they don't enjoy the other Tekkens. It's just that everyone's got their preferences. And this Tekken game is very different because of heat. So people being annoyed with it, especially when during this time it would be in the arcades, we wouldn't be seeing Tekken 8 in this state. We'd get it a year or so away. So this is a very, very different realm that Tekken players have entered. And, a lot of people are like, oh, skill issue. When the people they're talking to are either God of Destruction players or Austin Ash or whatever, these are players with proper experience. And the caveman argument you get is skill issue. Yeah. It's just is that all that you know how to say is skill issue?
Yeah. That's happening a lot actually. It happens to everyone. And when you complain about a character or a broken thing, they just say just lab, bro, just lab. You need to lab more. That's not the point, because if there are a lot of objectively broken things in Tekken 8. It's not that if you complain about that you're a crybaby. That's what they always do with this now. They always say, yeah, but maybe you just lab more, maybe you have to lab this, maybe you have to lab that. they were able even to downplay characters like Nina or Shine. So again, everything is possible in this game.
Now, I'll tell you who the crybabies are. The crybabies are the ones that hear people having a discussion about something and then start telling other people they're crybabies. Just go and play the game. Like, enjoy the game. People complain about Sparking Zero all the time. My Twitter feed is full of Sparking Zero hate. Do you think I care? I still play it. I still enjoy it. I'm not upset any of these people. They're entitled to their opinions. But for some reason, you voice your opinion in the Tekken community and you're ruining the fun for everybody.
Yeah,
Like, are we 10 years old or something?
Yeah, here it is very weird. It is with everything here, unfortunately. I talked with this with Infiltration also. It is like whatever opinion is the correct one in the majority, let's call it 80% wise, even if it is untrue. If you don't voice that similar opinion regarding anything, even politics, like people saying, yeah, oh, this guy voted Trump, now he needs to get out of the FGC or something.
God.
It is similar to the state of the game. What you see reflected in small will get reflected in bigger and bigger, like an onion, the inner shell into the outer shell. Every single topic, they demand that you have the same opinion. If you voice another opinion, then they claim you are entitled to do so, but if you do, they attack you personally and try to explain why you should not be taken seriously.
It's almost like a mafia, seems like. I don't know. It seems like a,
Like a clique.
Yeah.
What?
It's a clique. It's a clique. It's like it's like wrong think, right? It's like you say the wrong thing and suddenly you're against everybody, which makes no sense because like you'll say to them, oh no, like I play, like I'm a Tekken God Supremo, I'm God of Destruction. They're like, no, it's a skill issue. You just complain. I'm just like, just shut up.
Yeah, it's really crazy. This video here, I think we need to watch also Blackheart. What do you think? Because he brought up this Akuma argument.
Put Akuma back. Oh my god, man.
Like, I really want to see how he can go from attacking us and saying, hey guys, remember Akuma, to, hey, I want Akuma now also. Like, my mind is completely blown away.
Imagine the things Akuma did in Tekken 7 enhanced with the heat in Tekken 8. Imagine.
This is the life, brother. Now
we are not playing
smash everybody, take the bonus, and drink coconut.
Okay, shall I click on play, or do you guys still have something on your mind?
No, the only thing I wanted to say is that before you said that the 2D mechanics are brought to Tekken 8, I don't completely agree on this because I don't think they are still comparable.
Okay.
That doesn't mean that for example, I don't know, no character does the things I think that Akuma ever did in Tekken 7 still. For example, no character has a low like that Akuma's down 3 with the fireballs and so on. But the problem is that in some way they kind of brought this thing back to everyone with the hit system. But I think that Akuma's case still says very, very
obviously in detail analysis, Akuma could do specific things even more. I'm just saying systematically they took his system where you make something which is like minus on block and turn it plus.
I get what you mean.
That's what I wanted to emphasize. That's all.
Yeah. Okay.
They're gonna stand at Tekken World Tour Finals, and then it's like Miguel. I don't know. I just don't see that happening. I just feel like they know that after Heihachi, you can't do that.
Shit, he might be right. I think Akuma is really the last character.
So
it makes sense with the lore.
So the solution of bringing more height than Heihachi is bringing a character that everybody complain about in Tekken 7. That's the solution. They want basically to kill the community, basically, because they know everybody hates Akuma in Tekken 7. Basically, 90% of people hated Akuma. So the solution to bringing more hype to the game is bringing a character everybody hates. I don't see that happening, honestly.
Oh, you don't? Oh, I can't see that happening. But they
maybe
don't
I see a
from
guest character, yeah.
Blackheart. Let's be honest. From what we've seen so far, everything what the Tekken community demanded in Tekken 7 times, it got reversed. So when the Tekken community said we want better movement and backdash, they nerfed sidestep and backdash. When they said we want less coin 50-50, they said okay, we give you more coin 50-50 and more flips. Like always the opposite. No matter where I look, it was always like that. Or when they say sometimes it's like there is some people in Bandai Namco that force the developers or something to show you the middle finger every time when you say that you want it like this, and then they do the opposite. They give you a character which is a cool design, make him so overly busted that everyone is forced to hate the player, and the players or whatever create a toxic environment. Then they demand that, hey, this character is actually a cool looking character like Leroy, etc., Fakum Ram, Lydia. Make them reasonable, so we also like to fight against them. Then they show you the middle finger and destroy and over-nerf the character to such an extent that he becomes essentially unusable. So I believe everything they can do. So when we say the worst thing for us, for Akuma to come out, like for the worst character for us to come out is Akuma, then they will think it's the best. Because they always do the opposite.
Yeah, but I hope they won't, go on with this thinking, because they know that basically everyone hated fighting against them, so there will be riots in the streets probably.
But Akuma will sell very well, though. That's the thing. Like people will buy Akuma, so they'd sell him.
Yeah.
I wanna see in the eyes of those people. I wanna see the eyes of. I wanna see the eyes of Super Akuma once he buys Akuma in Tekken 8. I wanna see his eyes when he does that. But okay.
What's up, guys? Main man Sui here, hoping you're all doing awesome as always. And pretty soon, I think it's during winter, we're gonna get the 4th DLC character for Tekken 8. And who the hell is gonna top Heihachi? So a lot of people are asking me, who do you want to see as the 4th DLC character? I'm gonna discuss that a little bit in this video. I don't think, and this is my hunch, my big ol' hunch, it's huge, that we're not gonna get like a legacy Tekken character. You can't really drop Heihachi and then go, oh, here's Miguel. He's Spanish. He's got a banjo and curly, nice hair, burly chest. I don't think that works. As the 3rd DLC character, you get like the most iconic Tekken character of all time. I think it would be a bad idea to go like, oh, after Heihachi, here's Miguel. Here's Bob. He likes cheeseburgers. He's super fat. It's not a good spot to be in. It would be super anticlimactic. There is a chance we get a new original Tekken 8 character. Like we got Victor, we got Azucena, we got... Oh god, I forgot about Queen Reina. The greatest newcomer ever, in my opinion, and I forgot about her. But she's the greatest newcomer ever to a Tekken game. I've never seen such a polished character been introduced. Not a character I play, but maybe soon. I think we could get a new original Tekken 8 character.
Wait a minute, who is the most polished character?
Reina.
Oh, okay. How do you guys like Reina?
I personally think she's a little bit overrated. Like, I don't know.
No, from likewise, like, do you like the character?
In terms
emotionally.
In terms of design, I don't know. She's cool. Don't get me wrong, she's cool. But I don't know. I don't like her that much. Okay? It's a personal taste, I guess. I don't know.
I like Reina. I think she's cool.
I think also she's cool.
Yeah, it's okay. I think we had better additions to the roster, like Leroy, even though he was broken. I think it was.
Yeah, but the thing is, like, Reina came out as a specialist kind of character, Mishima style, and she was well implemented into the story. She looks very likable. They did well with that. I can't take that away from them.
The only thing is that, do you really think, you played a lot of Mishimas, Do you think she is as specialist as the other Mishimas?
No, obviously, I think she is brain dead and shit, but that's because Tekken 8 is with Heat. I just hate Heat. Everyone plays in Heat. It's like you are on they insert a quick dopamine system where you press something and you get rewarded quickly. So you need to have broken offense. The downside to that is that you are on the receiving end in every round in Tekken, and that is then negative. So it's a roller coaster of emotions. Positive, negative, until the negative outweighs the positive, because it feels much worse to take it than to do it. After some time doing it, you get even bored. But taking it, you get more and more and more annoyed. It's really weird.
Yeah.
So... And then when they fought, I thought, like, why did they give power crush heat engagers? The reason for that is they were like, okay, if the people have access to neutral skipping broken offensive tools, then we need to give them neutral skipping defensive tools. If I don't need to think about throwing out the power crush because it is safe on block and can be turned plus and makes combo and do this, etc., then you have a situation where defense is dumb and offense is dumb, and that's why I don't like Tekken 8.
The problem is that there's not even everybody has these kind of tools, so it creates even more unbalance, you know?
Yeah,
Like
some people, but some people have even worse. For example, Yoshimitsu, you can't even hit the character.
Yeah. That's true.
Leroy's parry, bro. Like, in this system, I think Leroy is also very underrated. All this chip damage that he does. I don't know why people say Leroy is weak, for example. You don't need to do anything. You just chip me to death.
I honestly never find Leroy this much to have an opinion, gotta be honest. So I don't know why they say that he's weak. I don't think we've ever faced a good Leroy, I think. Like for example, the
Leroy
only
is
one
not
is...
weak.
Yeah, no, I agree. There are worse characters. But even Raven, for example, in my opinion, is not weak, in my opinion.
Yeah, in my opinion, either. No one in this heat system is weak. That's the thing.
Yeah. No, not even
that would be
Devojin,
kind of cool. There is a chance you see perhaps Fakum Ram coming back, who was a new original Tekken 7 character that I think actually sold all right. I saw quite a bit of Fakum Rams. So I actually he's on my list of would not be surprised at all if he makes it back. But what I'm hoping for is a guest character. I think a lot of people are hoping for this. Why not seal the deal on the first season of DLC with a guest character? Guest characters bring in a lot of hype and they bring in other fan bases. So for hype reasons, I think a guest character would make sense. And I've said a million times that the one I would love to see, but I just don't see it happening, is Mortal Kombat. They did Street Fighter in Tekken 7, but Mortal Kombat is like, you know, this huge fighting game with casuals. It's fucking huge in the US. I feel like every MK game since MK9 has sold like billions of copies. And to be honest, you want the eyes of casuals to go to your game more than anything, rather than hardcore fighting game audiences, in my opinion.
Do you agree with this?
I would ask Mike about this. You know,
the thing with Mortal Kombat is that people are going to play Mortal Kombat whether it's got a hardcore system or not, because Mortal Kombat's got the gimmick of blood and violence and like over the top fatalities. That's what people show up for with Mortal Kombat. So they also have they're known for their story modes. And if you look at Mortal Kombat's history, like Mortal Kombat 10, for example, execution wise is not the easiest game in the world. And it's sold 12, 13 million copies. So it's the fighting game developers have got the wrong idea. They think that dumbing it down is what's going to draw more people in. But MKX did really, really, really well. And MK1 is not doing that well, despite being much, much more simple. Like Mortal Kombat, if you bring out a Mortal Kombat game on the PS5 and it's got flashy graphics and you can tear someone's eyes out, people are going to buy it. It doesn't matter if it's got one frame links or not. That's what they keep on missing, that point. MK9 was very successful. Mortal Kombat's always been successful because you've got the gimmick of tearing your friend's head off at the end of the match.
You know, I would like to add something to this too. When fighting game developers make games nowadays, and I feel that with many companies, and I made some investigation. I know what Bandai Namco did. I don't know if you guys are aware of this, but they spent 50 million on a company which rebranded itself, which real name is Sweet Baby Inc.
No, I don't know that. I don't know about that.
Yeah, I know about that.
Yeah, so 50 million they put there into the literal sand. Awakening 9 dropped, horrible, etc. They have people in their own development team, basically, and advertisement team and even company philosophy that change the idea of what they are going for. At the moment, Bandai Namco makes games for an audience that does not exist. So they are trying to turn this into Fortnite. It's not gonna work. It is a fighting game, and what made Tekken 7 grow in the end of its lifespan was the longevity and the deepness and the emotional engagement that the core community had, which attracted more people to it, which they said, look how invested these people are into this. Let's check this out. And it got more and more traction. Now they make a game for an audience that is apparently casual, plays the game and drops it quickly, and then just get up the sales. And then you have an unhappy core community and a casual community that would never basically invest enough time to learn a fighting game. So no matter how dumb you make it, first of all, if it is dumb, a casual player cannot know it is dumb. You can make it flashy, but on the level when you learn the game, it should make sense. They make it make no sense, so just that the casual will not say, oh, this is too hard. Wait a minute. When I change the balance of a character, does a casual even understand what changed?
No. Of course not. Of course not. The problem is that I don't know how much this works with Tekken, because I think for how much they can try to make this game, as casual as possible, it's still a niche genre compared to like Fortnite, FIFA, and so on, because it's relatable to a not as big audience, I think. And doesn't matter how dumb they're gonna make it seem. The only thing they're gonna get in the end is just hatred by the ones who are staying in the game. Because look at what happened to Sparking Zero, basically. They try to do the same. Because I don't know if you guys know, but of course, a lot of pro Tenkaichi 3 players are complaining about Sparking Zero. It's the same as it happened with Tekken, The problem, so for example, Paige, one of the best Sparking Zero players in the world, told me that Sparking Zero received the Tekken 8 treatment. It called it like this. So basically, the game got dumbed down from Tenkaichi 3. The problem is that in this case specifically, it worked because it was such a long-awaited game, since Tenkaichi 3 times, that of course it sold a lot. But look at the situation now. The game is basically dropped everywhere. No one is playing it anymore. And
well, I think that situation is a little bit overblown because they reported on Steam numbers, but I think console numbers are still pretty high for Sparking Zero.
Yeah, but it's still for the majority of people, it's still not up.
I have a better argument for what you want to say, to be honest. You know what, Blackheart? Let's take this argument here. They say Tekken 8 success big because more players now, end of Tekken 7, and Tekken 7 in the beginning only 2,000 players, now 5,000 or 7. So the player base grew over Tekken 7. Now in Tekken 8 we have more players, but that doesn't mean it is because of Tekken 8. Tekken 8 had triple or 4 times the advertisement, a way bigger community. Steam numbers are high as ever. When Tekken 7 came out, it was Steam was not such a huge thing as it is now. Literally, I looked up the numbers, and we retained from a peak of around 50k on Steam. We retained 5 to 7. Tekken 7 at the end of its lifespan was on 5,000 on Steam. So you want to tell me this is success? So what happened? You made a game for the casuals, and even the casuals don't want it. What's going on?
Yeah, there's nothing to gain from this, basically. I don't know about the Tekken 8 sales, by the way. I don't know about that.
I will know about it. You can ask me. I looked it up, everything. Tekken 7 end lifespan, beginning, how many people, and then the spike. I looked it all up. When you put it into perspective and just do the numbers game, you will realize that you attracted a much larger audience with Tekken 8. With a much larger existing core audience. What is remaining now is like the core audience plus minus 30% casuals. Not even. Not even.
Yeah.
These are fighting game players, like the people that stayed now, and they look up the guides, and these are not the people these guys are trying to attract. Otherwise, the numbers would reflect that.
No,
It
in
doesn't
fact,
even make sense because they haven't added team battles, survival mode, time attack. There's a lack in offline features which casuals usually flock to, and then they also made the actual like intricacies of the system for casuals, where casuals are not going to spend all of their time, nor do they really care that much. I was playing with someone today, and he was like, "I love playing Tekken." And I said to him, "Oh, who's your favorite character?" He was, "Oh, I just use everyone." And we started playing. He was just mashing buttons, and he was having the best time. He didn't know what was going on. He was just laughing when I was beating him. And that is how like a lot of the like dip in, dip out kind of casual is. Not the casual like me. Like I'll casually turn it on, but I know how to play it. They don't seem to understand that there's levels to being a casual as well. And historically, fighting games, they're always going to be a niche, but they've always done pretty well. Like I went through the sales of older fighting games. Street Fighter Alpha, for example, consistently did between 6 to 7 million. Street Fighter 4 did what, like 12, 13 million, I think, maybe 10 million. They've sold well, but they're reaching for the stars without realizing that there is a ceiling on their head because they're in a niche market. They're not World of Warcraft. They're not Fortnite. They're never going to reach those like massive audiences. They can expand, but you don't expand by alienating the people that do the word of mouth marketing for you, because they'll just go around telling people, "Nah, it's shit, don't play it."
It maybe has also something to do that they failed with their gacha game. They made millions of losses. They failed with Awakening 9. They made 50 millions of losses. They tried to make up for it in the most weirdest ways in Tekken, where we saw it ourselves with the DLC stages. You've also chat now to you. We have over 200 viewers. Do you really believe that all these losses that Bandai Namco makes, they try to not sneakily try to get it through other games that have success, and the money makers, the cash cows are still Tekken and Dragon Ball, the new ones, Elden Ring now aside. We needed to pay for the stage individually. This is so outrageous, but it tells you Bandai Namco is in a weird state. You got to understand the. It's not only Harada there and Michael Murray. They make a game now, and then they have like the full control. No, there is shareholders. There's people that have specific interests. There's people that want you to do specific things in a way that you don't even want to do it. And I can just like by like reasoning, connecting the dots and pattern recognition, realize that Bandai Namco is in a bad spot somehow at the moment. And it reflects in the game.
Yeah, speaking about that, I don't know if you saw about the new Steam policy they published, basically. Maybe because of some problems had with some DLCs, including Tekken, probably. I don't know if you saw that. It happened on Twitter. Basically, they stated that now going on, they will be more transparent about what season passes will have, and if they don't commit to the things they are promising in the season passes, they're gonna refund. They're gonna make small refunds for the Steam users. So I don't know if you saw about that, but that's what they're saying now.
Yeah, Steam's basically forcing developers to reveal what comes out with the game. So you can't say, "Oh, there's going to be 4 characters in season 1, but you're only going to know about Eddie to begin with, and we'll let you know later on." Now they're going to have to say who the 4 characters are, the 4 stages are. There's not going to be any surprises. I think they could probably get away with like adding free DLC. No one's going to complain about that. But if we have to pay for it, they're going to have to tell us, which is good. And I was talking to someone earlier, and I was saying to them that it doesn't matter if PlayStation and Xbox do this now, because Tekken comes out on Steam, so we're going to see it beforehand, so we'll know what we're paying for now. Now we don't have to give them our money if they've got 4 characters that nobody wants to play.
That's good.
Yeah,
that's really good. But they should give us at least a character to. And how greedy this is! It makes me sometimes laugh. They couldn't even lab the character without buying him. You can't pick him in P mode when you watch your replays. Like that is even malicious, I would say.
Yeah. That's fucked up for sure. That's
like maybe I don't want to play your character. Maybe I just don't want to get blown up in ranked. Is that possible?
The only way you can do this now is basically if you have a friend that owns the character and you go to online practice mode. Basically, that's the only way you can do that. Basically, otherwise you have to buy them. Yeah.
Okay, I keep playing it.
So I would, of course, like one of the ninjas. I would like Scorpion to join, or Sub-Zero. I think that would be super fucking awesome. Of course, they would be in a PG environment, so you can't really do a fatality thing. But I think they've been in a PG environment before, haven't they? And it would be so cool to see what they would do with those movesets. Like Scorpion's get over here, or his teleport, all of that stuff. It would probably be super fucking obnoxious to play against. But it would be so cool to see Japan's Tekken v 3D Fighter go up against the US.
Just pause it for a second, bro.
MK.
The thing is that you can actually put a Mortal Kombat character in Tekken and just design them intelligently. Like, you don't have to have Scorpion mirror exactly what he does in Mortal Kombat, because it's not the same game. So if you want to have his spear, for example, in Tekken, because we knock people in the air and then we slam them to the ground to continue the combo, just have the spear usable in a combo, so it's still there and it looks flashy, and you can't throw it out in the neutral, so it doesn't ruin what Tekken is. They just need to use their brains. Like, obviously, don't let Scorpion teleport in Tekken. Teleporting that's going to be mad.
The problem is that with Akuma, they didn't do that. They basically, ripped Akuma as it was in Street Fighter, and they brought him as he was in Tekken 7.
Yeah, but you can learn from your mistakes. Like
they never do.
They've got teleporting in Tekken with Raven, for example, when he counters. So Raven and Scorpion are both ninjas. So look at what works with Raven, and people don't complain when Raven teleports. And just do something similar. You don't have to have Scorpion appearing behind you, because everyone's going to get angry. They just need to use their heads. That's all they need to do. Just use their heads. You could even make it so that Scorpion's a fire ninja, right? It could be that maybe one of his perks, because chip damage is already in this game, that he's not a high damage character. He's a mix-up character, and he doesn't do a lot of damage, but his heat maybe allows him to do a little bit more chip than he would usually, because he's got fire. Like, they just try to balance him so that he's not doing high damage, high chip, high mix-ups, teleporting all over the place, because then people are going to get pissed off.
You're asking the wrong developers, man. You're not gonna lie. You're asking the wrong developers to do that. Yeah.
I feel like it's a weird trend in the gaming industry. It's like, I see these patterns not only in Bandai. It's very hard to describe, but it feels like there is like some sort of interest that these companies are under, and they can't, like, it's similar to the Steam situation, right? You know how Steam has somehow an authority to make them now say what about the DLC characters, etc. Other people have other authorities about them, about other specific things. So it is a bit weird. So let's keep watching.
I would love it. I would be so hype. A reveal trailer like that, I would nut about 5 times and die from dehydration. And then I would have a couple of safe picks like Solid Snake, MGS3 Snake Eater is getting a remake, would be good timing. Solid Snake is super cool. Well, I guess that would be Big Boss, but still would be sick. Being a huge Resident Evil fan, I love Wesker, Albert Wesker. He's already been like Marvel, Capcom, those properties.
Oh, what is Main Man smoking?
Right? I would love to have Wesker. And then if you want to go with something IRL, why not Mike Tyson? I know a lot of people have
Mike Tyson
on Twitter,
for
on social media. Has even Harada tweeted about it, or Michael Murray. I think they have. No,
Wait a minute, shit. Would you like to have Mike fucking Tyson, but not the Mike Tyson that Jake Paul fought, the old man, 50-year-old Mike Tyson? I mean the OG white tiger owning Mike Tyson.
I mean, we already have Steve, bro. I don't know. We already have Steve.
I'm just thinking, I think it wouldn't fit at all. Like, it would make no fucking sense. What is Mike Tyson gonna do? An uppercut into an high heat engager and then run on you, or what?
Back one,
into a mix-up. Slips your legs away with his hands. Bite your ear.
He has a grab in which he bites your ear off, basically. That's what he does. Yeah.
They're just like
Let's get-
these
let's get
suggestions are just backwards. Like they need to put characters in that fighting game players want to use, like Akira from Virtua Fighter. I know a lot of the FGC don't mess with Mortal Kombat, but Scorpion makes more sense than Mike Tyson. Like, come on, what is he even suggesting? What else did he say? What other character did he say?
Bro, honestly, I have a mental dissonance. I didn't even want to hear it at some point. But you know what?
Oh, he said Albert Wesker.
Yeah,
Has
yeah,
anyone
Wesker.
played Resident Evil 5 where he's got Ouroboros coming out of him? I don't want those tentacles all over the screen.
Bro, listen, but there is one thing I need to say though. Because I like to put myself into the perspective of the people to see why is he saying it. Okay, why is he specifically saying these things that he is saying? Now imagine you are one of the biggest streamers. You not like me, 300 viewers is nothing. He can get 2,000, he can get 4,000. He works with Bandai Namco directly, etc., etc. So his number one aspiration in life, what would be the next step? It would be that Tekken would become casually successful. So I think there's the motivation, to be honest. He sees it from this like angle and focuses on this and thinks if that is good for me, it will be good for everyone if they go into that direction. What do you think?
But that I mean, probably it's what his mentality looks like because of how big he is, you know.
I
But
can't
don't-
blame him, by the way. This is not an attack. I'm
No,
just
no,
trying
yeah,
to.
Yeah, no, I know. We are not flaming him. The problem is that I don't know if this is, something that helps in the long way, you know, because, for example, even there, the suggestions does they make sense? I don't know. For example, Mike Tyson, for example, would be really a suggestion that would bring a lot. I don't know. Maybe yes. I don't know. Depends. How now you see it, I guess.
P. Diddy party, and the stage is called Freak Off. We did you play P. Diddy?
I think you need to look at the climate that we have right now of Tekken. And when Negan came out, for example, as far as I remember, people were still in like Tekken 7 was still in pretty good graces. Maybe I'm remembering it wrong, but Tekken 8 is not in people's good graces right now.
Yeah.
So I really think they need to bring someone out that is going to make people go wow. Because when they brought out Heihachi, the story mode was shit, so that soured it. And then the Gen Magi stage incident happened, so that soured it even more.
Yeah.
So Heihachi's return was really like, it was meant to be this monumental moment, and it was just overshadowed by controversy. So now what they need to do is, they've already said, I think the next stage is going to be free. They need to drop a banger of a character like Kiryu, drop a Yakuza character in the game, or if they bring Akuma back, people will get pissed, but he's going to go crazy.
Kill the game. It's gonna kill the game.
Okay, listen, now away from what could happen, what do you think is gonna happen? Because I am scared, dude. If this guy is saying like this Akuma stuff, I don't know, man. Like, you think he can become, maybe he can come back? You chat as well, you think Akuma comes back? And like Heihachi, you know, those two revivals of two characters you thought they were completely gone from the game, it would fit the entire, like, narrative somehow.
I don't think they will be so stupid, honestly. I think they know that it could be a huge slip up. So I don't think they're gonna add something like this. But hopefully. I don't know about what Mike thinks, but I don't think.
I think that you look at even animes as well, because Bandai Namco owns a lot of different anime IPs, and you've got. I know King Jay's been saying Yuji from Jujutsu Kaisen could be a possibility because they're going to be in Shibuya when the announcement happens. But you also look at shows where you can actually benefit from the entire show, like Kengan Ashura.
Yes.
You can take the stage from Kengan Ashura. You can take Oma. You can even have like Seki Yabashi, I think his name is, the wrestler guy. You can give that costume to a character in Tekken. Like, you can do costume swaps. Like, Kengan Ashura and Baki work really, really well, especially because they had that fake trailer for Baki and I think a fake one for Yujiro, or saw a render. And everyone was like, yes, put Yujiro in the game. So look at that and be like, we already own the IPs to so many shonen animes.
Yeah.
Why don't we use one that people that like fighting games are actually going to indulge in? But personally, I think they're going to do something stupid. We're going to get Postman Pat or something, and everyone's going to go, "Oh my god, It's gonna be stupid, and I'm just gonna sit here like, what?
It is so weird also, like Bandai Namco is not capable of thinking this. Even I thought this out one time, like randomly in my head. I was like, okay, what would be the perfect character to put in the game that fits the narrative, that they have quick access to, that everyone would love? If you put Oma into the game and make his rush, like his heat burst, his advance...
Yeah,
like,
the Ashura thing.
Dude, it would be so fucking sick, but they are unfortunately stupid, so it's not gonna happen.
It just makes, especially because there's what, season 3 part 2 or season 2 part 2 is coming out, and it's like it's perfect timing to drop it.
It's
Yeah.
it's gonna be.
Hey,
it's
just
gonna
frame
be,
James, legend. I watched your. Sorry guys, real quick. We watched your Tekken 6 classical fight against Knee last time. No, honestly, I watched it at least 4 times, bro. That is so sick, man.
Yeah,
That's
he's
frame
low.
James.
He's low against his Brian, right? Knees Brian.
Yeah,
Just
against
frame
Knees
James
Brian. That
low,
was so sick. Yeah, just frame James.
Yeah.
He was sick, man. I used to watch him all the time.
Yeah.
Big shout out.
Is he still playing? Are you still playing Tekken?
Yeah, James still playing Tekken.
Ah, he's still playing. Nice. Okay, let's go.
Okay,
I personally would like Harry Potter.
Harry Potter. What?
Harry Potter, yes.
Harry Potter. What am I gonna do? Wingardium Leviosa heat smash?
on your ass. Yes.
Holy shit, man.
Jake Paul or Logan Paul, he's a wrestler from Alabama. That would be hype. I'm also a huge fan of Brock Lesnar or like Undertaker. Undertaker probably wouldn't be a big name for a lot of people. You know, I grew up with Attitude Era. I know a lot of people still fucking love Undertaker.
Lady Gaga.
But I feel like he'd probably be in the shadow of something like Brock Lesnar or Mike Tyson. Brock Lesnar would also be super sick. Who doesn't want to see F5 in Tekken 8?
Is he forgetting about all the allegations, right? I don't think it's the best time to put Brock Lesnar in the game.
Brock Lesnar, what happened?
He's tied to the whole Vince McMahon controversy. He was apparently the person in the text messages talking. I don't know if he actually did it. I'm not accusing Brock Lesnar, but his name is tied to
What again? What?
You know Vince McMahon's got all that heat on him right now because of the stuff he was doing with that woman, right?
I don't know about. I don't know. Sorry. I don't
Okay.
know
Well, long story short, to not make it right, Vince McMahon was basically pushed out of the WWE because of allegations that he had done some crazy shit. Yeah. And Brock Lesnar was apparently implicated in that.
Damn.
We don't know if it's true or not.
Okay,
so,
I see.
I didn't know the Brock Lesnar one. That was new. I knew about Vincent, and I always felt he is a sicko somehow. You know, Epstein Island type of vibes. Really.
Vince is always like his Mr. McMahon character. In my opinion, is just an extension of himself.
Exactly.
So when he's doing crazy shit, I'm like that. I mean, who pitches the idea to be the father of your daughter?
Exactly.
Like, it's crazy.
Yeah. He's not even like weird. You have weirdly similar takes like me. Like this guy, when I look at him, I always feel like his role is his life.
Yeah, it's upsetting as well because we all grew up watching wrestling, and Vince McMahon was a big personality on TV. And as a businessman, I think what he did was incredible. But those allegations are insane. I read the documents; they're actually disgusting. I can't even say them because I'll end up getting you in trouble on Twitch.
Yeah, I get it. Okay.
King. I know a lot of people want to see a Dragon Ball character potentially. I used to be a Dragon Ball fan in my teens. I'm not
Who asked for Goku?
Goku.
Alright, he's just yapping, man. No one asked for Goku, and I love Dragon Ball.
Now.
I want to see those people in the face.
Right? They just released Sparking Zero. A lot of people want to see like Goku. But wouldn't that look kind of stupid in Tekken?
Yeah, it would. No one wants also to see Goku. I don't think who wants to see Goku? Sorry, chat. Does anyone here want to see Goku? Or
imagine.
I would accept Hercule. Because I reckon Hercule could probably be up some Tekken characters.
Yeah.
Like, how do you take that graphical art style and put it in Tekken? I just feel like it would be a bit weird. Like Tekken is anime in style, but they try to give it a realistic gloss, though. I don't know how they would do that. And like, if you didn't like Akuma projectiles, I can only imagine like what is it called? The spirit bomb. That would be obnoxious to deal with. How do you sidestep the spirit bomb?
How do you sidestep the spirit bomb, motherfucker? That shit is as big as the moon, bro.
To finish off, I'm gonna say the thing that's gonna get me murdered. I actually wouldn't mind if Akuma returned.
No.
Yeah, please. No, don't take.
No.
No fucking way.
But you wouldn't put Akuma in Tekken 8 and also give him his own meter, right? You would just give him the heat meter.
No, of course, he needs everything. He
No,
needs meter,
I don't think so. Because why does Heihachi have his install and his heat at the same time? You think they can't do that with fucking Akuma, bro?
No, maybe they'll give him an install and he'll become Shin Akuma or Oni, but I don't think he'll have his own.
No, don't give them ideas, Mike.
God,
Shut up,
this
man.
sounds so scary. He might be right. Chat,
Don't give them ideas, Mike.
Nah.
No.
I think he's onto something.
I don't think they're going to give Akuma his own meter. I think he'll go into heat. His actual heat activation will turn him into maybe Shin Akuma, and then maybe if he he'll turn
Mike,
into
stop
Oni.
smoking. Stop smoking, Mike. You know, Medus, every time I go into his stream, he says like, when Marduk is gonna come back, because he's gonna come back. He's so sure.
No,
Marduk is
I
gonna
think
come
he
back.
is right.
No.
He's coming, bro. He's coming hard.
Bro, listen, Blackheart Bandai Namco doesn't base their decision making on whether or not you like the character, bro. They do what is most feasible from an economic standpoint, and Akuma just makes sense. And Marduk makes sense too. Believe it or not.
Yeah.
I believe that leak was real and that Marduk and Fakurama are already in the game. They're stored away, but they were probably moved around.
Thank God. A little bit more time to breathe. Thank God.
Someone in your chat said, "Why does Marduk make sense?" He makes first of all, he's been in every Tekken game since he was introduced in Tekken 4. So whatever logic you use for the other Tekken games, you would just use for Tekken 8. Like, why would you exclude why would you exclude Marduk? What's the reason?
Yeah, we always need more broken characters in the game. Come on, you always need more broken characters in the game.
I mean,
up your guns.
Marduk has a big fan base, Dr. Floys.
Marduk has a big,
big fan base, really.
when you search for Eddie Gordo,
and it's because Akuma was horribly broken in Tekken 7. This is the most broken Tekken character of all time, probably. But I just feel like Akuma looks super sick in Street Fighter 6. If that Akuma was in Tekken 8, it would be real fucking hype. And Street Fighter 6 is doing insanely well. So if they put in like Akuma in Tekken 8,
he's right there also, because the Bandai Namco is always in connection with Capcom and etc. So they might leverage off their success, because you got to understand, I've seen numbers on Street Fighter I couldn't believe lately even.
Yeah, Street Fighter's killing it, man.
Yeah, it's a very, very well-received fighting game. It's true.
I talked with Infiltration, and he is like an Evo champion. He told me also, he said, Medus, believe it or not, Street Fighter 6 is a balanced game. It is not. It is good. He said Tekken 8 in comparison to that is horse shit. Yeah, because the drive meter and all the nerfs they gave the characters, at the end of the day, it is not an all empowering, all like destroying the whole game. Like, heat is embedded into the individual character's move list, and in addition to that, characters get different moves. The whole game, what we play right now, is not Tekken 8 with heat, we play heat with Tekken.
Yeah, exactly.
Basically.
Yeah, I think it would help Tekken 8 a lot as well. It would be super hype. But of course, this would mean that the balancing approach would have to be very different to what they did in Tekken 7, when they were like, well, in Street Fighter, jab is a combo starter. In Street Fighter, they can jump over the neutral. Without realizing that if you put that in Tekken, Houston we have a problem. Where's Tom Hanks? So, of course, if he did a better job, I wouldn't mind getting a Street Fighter character. And I think Bison would also be super fucking sick. I love Bison. He's so cool.
How the hell are you going to do
Those are my
Scissors
thoughts on the
Kid?
fourth.
No, main man is he's just waffling, bro. What is he? Bison's my favorite Street Fighter character, and I don't think I would want him in Tekken.
I don't
Yeah,
understand how his
it's a big risk.
identity
It's a
would
big
be
risk.
implemented in a Tekken system. Like,
Yeah.
you
Big
can't
risk.
just make a skin and then call it Bison. He needs to play like Bison. How do you do that even in Tekken?
It's impossible. It's impossible. Yeah, you
DLC
either
character.
break the Tekken, you either break the mechanics while playing.
This is the stuff
character or not.
I think would be the most hype. But you know
You
what?
know what? He reacted also to the heat speak.
Okay.
Shall we do a weird inception? Or we can let the chat decide
Inception.
also. We can watch the heat speak naturally, or we can watch the heat speak with him because he has always the opposite opinion of us, I feel like.
Yeah. Okay. It's cool.
What
it's
do you
cool.
think, Mike? What do you say?
I mean, it's up to the chat. I don't mind. I don't know if it'll be too much.
Basically, this
minutes
podcast is a TMM reaction podcast. Basically.
Yeah.
No, you're right. You're
No,
right.
no, no.
Then we can. The
No,
thing
no,
is,
no,
you
but-
got to understand, bro. It is important, because
Yeah,
the
I
main
know, I
man
know.
is one of the biggest streamer. He
Yeah.
shapes the conversation at the moment a lot, and then
Yeah.
pretending as if we can ignore his opinion or his opinion wouldn't be so important is disingenuous. It is important.
No.
He is on the
Yeah.
forefront. He's at the moment also representing the game on YouTube. So we got to understand what is going on. Why are the people that talk so extremely positive of Tekken talking the way they are? What are the arguments? And from the bottom of my head, immediately 3 people come to my mind when it comes about unnatural defending of Tekken 8 and then smearing people that say that Tekken 8 has problems and conflating it somehow with old Tekkens and Tekken 7. One is FDX, the other one is Speed Kicks, and the third one is the main man 3. I call this the Holy Trinity of Tekken 8.
So are you saying these are the guys that run damage control for Tekken 8?
These are the guys that are running damage control at the moment, yes. FDX more, because FDX, every opinion he has is Speedkick's opinion, and he also doesn't deny. He says that he goes with the Speedkick's philosophy of Tekken, and all the takes he has from Speed. And the videos he gets, he has them from Speed. So when the conversation started, and why I keep continuing to mention these guys, I hope they are not mad, is because, okay, we have a situation where we want to have a talk, not a disingenuous talk, just a normal talk on even ground, and say, hey, this is the game. We love the game also. It has problems. You guys now attack us for saying it has a problem. And how do they do that? And why I find it disingenuous is FDX then goes on Twitter and says, hey, I'm going to make a YouTube video. Then he makes a YouTube video and says, yeah, I'm not going to defend Tekken 8, yeah? Okay. Then goes on and to explain why Tekken 7 is bad, and the people that say now Tekken 8 is now bad, they forgot what Tekken 7 was. And then he shows one game, Dragunov versus Feng Wei, where he says, yeah, this is disengaging gameplay, blah, 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 as if it was not one of the hypest moments when Ni played against JDCR, Drag versus Feng. Plus, he takes one character that is disengaging by design, which is Feng Wei. He broke the system, and he was one of the problems in Tekken 7. So now then he goes on, says, yeah, but what about the even older Tekken? This is real Tekken. Then he shows Tekken's attacks Tournament 2, Armor King versus Brian, completely different character dynamic in between, more engaging. He goes into the details, or look at the movement, so nice, etc., so engaging. Then he goes from Tekken 6, Brian versus Armor King, to Tag Tournament 2 and shows Heihachi versus Deviljin. Well, excuse me. Why don't you then show Heihachi versus Deviljin in Tekken 7?
Yeah, he's being very selective.
I would love to have a podcast with him, but it's very hard to reach, of course. But it actually would be interesting to have, a huge debate with the very polar opposites of the discussion to finally reach an understanding point.
I feel
Because
like
this.
most of these
Everybody-
guys, they rather want to stay in their echo chamber. That's the thing.
Yeah, but you know what happens. Everybody stays in their chamber, in which your opinion, echo between you and yourself, and you never have a constructive, discussion with someone who doesn't think like that. That maybe always respects you, because, for example, in my case, I really respect FDX. He's always rated a lot of times. In my case, he's helped me a lot. So it's not about being against you. It's about constructing an argument in which you can find something new to talk about. That will be very interesting, but it's very hard, of course. Very hard.
I agree.
Also, for example, reaching the main man is basically impossible. I don't think he ever engages with everybody outside of his chat on Twitch, basically. But yeah.
But all of these cool ideas thrown out, you just know it's gonna be like Miguel or something, and it's gonna be a huge fucking dud. But are we actually gonna stand at Tekken World Tour Finals, take the stage and go, "Oh, pray the Treru," and then it's like Miguel? I don't know. I just don't see that happening. I just feel like they know that after Heihachi, you can't do that. I think they're smart enough to see that from a business standpoint and hype standpoint. I just don't see that working out too well. But yeah, I gotta say, I hope I'm not deluding myself.
Okay.
He 100% is. Some of his points are delusional. I think personally, I don't want to see a guest character over a Tekken character. And I think the only two Tekken characters that I can think of off the top of my head that everyone will go, "Oh, holy shit," is Ancient Ogre or Jinpachi. And the only reason I say that is because there's no other Mishimas. This is the last Mishima, and he's like, canonically, I think he's stronger than Heihachi, or at least he was back then. Heihachi had to like jump him and imprison him.
Yeah.
Or Ancient Ogre, because Jun is back, and there's markings of Ancient Ogre all over Tekken 8. We've got the Yakushima stage, the ruins. He makes sense to bring back, and he's a boss character. He's been out of the game since Tekken Tag 2, but canonically we haven't seen him since Tekken 3. So I think if you're gonna bring a Tekken character back, you got to bring one of the bosses back. It's either got, and I would go Ancient Ogre because we just got a Mishima. So if you're gonna bring Jinpachi back, he maybe comes back a little later. That's the way I would go. I would always prioritize Tekken characters over guests. I understand the logic behind putting a guest in the game from a financial standpoint, but as a purist, I think they should go Ancient Ogre or Jinpachi.
I think also Ogre.
Oh my god, Mike.
But you know
We'll be
what the
hyped,
problem
right?
is? What was Ogre's move list? Wasn't it a compilation of the other Tekken
Yeah,
characters,
of other
basically?
fighters, basically.
Yeah, but
basically.
the last time that we played with Ancient Ogre, he was heavily Mishima focused, and he had some of Marduk's attacks.
True.
He had some of Jun's attacks. Like, he's got moves that have been in the Tekken sphere for a very long time, so it's not going to be alien to us. He's got some of Bruce's attacks, but you could repurpose them as Josie if you wanted. Like, I personally, I think they can take his Tekken Tag 2 moveset and make a few changes, because he's a very complete character in that game, and just move him over. Enough people have missed Tekken Tag 2 from this generation to not know what he's like, and he's got enough of a unique combo routes that I think people have a good time with him. And then you could, if you wanted to really go crazy with it, you could make his heat True Ogre. So when he pops heat, he transforms. That would be different, right? We haven't seen anything like that before.
Dude. Yeah, that would be sick. That would be actually sick. Maybe let's see what they are cooking. Who knows? Okay,
Please
so
bring
now we go with the next video, right?
Yeah. Please bring Unknown back as a heat power up of June, please. Thank you. Now that we're talking about this. Please bring Unknown
I
back.
don't know shall I play it now? Shall I play it with him or without him? The heat speak.
With him. Let's go with him.
With him, are you sure? You also, Mike?
The thing is that if you play it with him, they're going to make a point, and then he's going to make a point, and then we're going to make a point. So we're going to be waiting for him to finish his point, and then we're going to argue his point and their point.
Yeah. And exactly, that's why I'm asking you, right? Okay, then it was on Spag, right? Spag, or no, Spag, here it's maybe easier. Spag. Not spaghetti
This
though.
is the life, brother. Now when they use
Someone asked
special,
if Jim
brother,
Pachi
take
used
the
to have an
bonus
electric
and
the
they
same
focus
as the Mishnahs. No, he didn't. So basically, to do Jim Pachi's electric, you press down 3+4 and
I
then
want to
triangle.
start with
Then he'll teleport towards you and do an electric. So it was slower, but it had a teleport and it did a lot of damage. Or you could just do down forward 2, 1, and it will do 2 winged god fists, but they weren't electrics.
Jesus Christ, Mike is full of knowledge, man. Really.
Jinpachi was my. If they bring Jinpachi back, Blackheart, you're the first person I'm coming for.
Come at me, bro. You're not gonna win even one round.
You'll
man.
be
Come on,
god of
man.
nothing.
So Medusa,
Yeah,
do
no,
you
that-
agree
This
that
is the life,
Tekken
brother.
7
Now
was a
when they
pretty
use
good game?
smash everybody, take the bonus and they focus.
Well,
Let
let's
me
bring
turn
it
off
one
my
of the
alert
other
box
10.
real quick. Sorry. I get too many followers. Thank you so much. So this is my stance on Tekken 7 because whenever we react to things like this, we get these questions, obviously. I like Tekken 7. I find it disingenuous to pretend as if the game that saved the Tekken franchise from not existing anymore after Tekken Tag Tournament 2 was a bad game, Tekken 7. Because of a few characters. Tekken 7 was a good game. It had character issues which broke the game's balance in specific ways, and we didn't want those characters, and we wanted better movement and less 50-50. Now we are Tekken 8 and we got less of everything we wanted and more of everything we didn't want. And I'm just saying, okay, maybe Tekken 7 was too disengaging. You know how they say you are backdash simulator all the time? All right. First of all, staying 3-4 seconds in the back and just breathing for the sake of your mental state is not a bad thing for a video game. Why do you think everyone says I cannot play the game for longer than 2 hours or 3 when it comes max? It's because it's too much in your face. It's all the time boom, explosion, 50-50, 50-50, quick decision making. It burns you out. That's the game philosophy.
Yeah.
It is too much. Second of all, if you say, hey, Tekken 7 was too disengaging, it is like politics. You have the left and you have the right. Let's say the left is backdashing and backdash simulator, and the right is staying in the red zone. The red zone meaning in the face of the character where the hits connect. So how about we don't make a dishonest discussion and pretend as if we can only choose between this or that, but rather be centrists and say, hey, this game had good things, but maybe it was a bit too disengaging. Fair enough. We already have a massively more aggressive game. But they went on to the other extreme, and now we ended up with not liking this also because they overdid it. What I'm saying is Tekken 7 was a good game. Maybe a little bit leaning towards too much backdashing, but you could still play an engaging play. In Tekken 8, it is impossible to run away from the opponent.
Yeah.
Wow,
it's
Medusa,
crazy.
I've never seen you so much centrist. You're always far right, man. What happened to you?
It is what it is.
It is what it
I
is,
mean, the
bro.
thing
Okay.
is, they call you many words, but they can never say that you are dumb or that your arguments are not right. That's the thing.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. You have to prove them wrong always, you know. Yeah, that's the point, of course. You can
Change.
never
Well, let's
insult
talk
your argument. You can never insult whoever you're talking to with no arguments. Basically, that's something that happens very often in this community. Very
The
often.
thing is also, this is like a rule of thumb I go by. If there's two opinions and one side tries to silence the other one and claims that one is the true opinion and there's more people there, that one is mostly the wrong one, because the truth don't need to silence the untruth. The truth is truth
Exactly.
on its own by its own arguments and by its own facts. In an open discourse, the truth survives through the argument and the lie can't survive. But since
Exactly.
the other side is not a lie, they need to make sure that it can't speak because it has the better arguments. And that is in many aspects of life. You will recognize this. Whoever you cannot criticize is the ones that you need to criticize, or what?
About the game now, ladies and lads. Here we go. We're going to move on to the next topic. And it's a topic you guys have all been waiting for, the state of Tekken 8. And actually for this one, I'm going to start with FDX because you know why? Because a lot of people...
Because he's a shill!
Yeah, look, listen, I want to ask, Have you taken money? You know, are you paid off by the authorities for your opinions? That's what people have been saying, bro. Talk.
I want to say something quickly about this also. The realistic people, obviously there will be some like trolls or some people that have like a low IQ and think Bandai Namco goes now with money to VDX and says here is 5k for your next 10 posts if you glaze Tekken 8 as good as you can. No.
Yeah.
These people have specific standings in the community and are in a position which a lot of people would like to be if they want to make it in this industry. Meaning they have good contacts with Bandai Namco. In this scenario, they would like to behave in such a way that they will not destroy future opportunities. What the people say is that VDX is doing a bit of it too much and becoming disingenuous just for the sake of his own benefit. That's very different than saying he takes money directly.
You don't have any proof of that also, of course. You know, you cannot say that.
I would
Nobody
never
can
say that. I'm not an idiot.
Yeah, no, I mean, in general, you cannot say that because you don't have any proof of that. It's just, you know, it's almost a felony, I would say, almost. You know, you cannot say something that it's very heavy to say.
Yeah.
Defend
Yeah,
yourself,
like
man.
it's obvious. Like and I don't think anybody can stand there and say VDX is getting money from them, but it's very obvious he's trying to stay in their good graces.
Exactly. I have a
Yeah,
good
that's
argument
true.
for
That's
this
true.
one also, and this is in 4K. And you can apply this to most people that are very close to them. CBM said in one podcast, Tekken 8 Japanese players are very unhappy with the game, but they are scared to voice their opinions because they are very close to Bandai Namco. Now translate that to the American industry and to specific people, and you can imagine they cannot be too negative about the game by default. But that is not what we even wish, because the intelligent people will understand, okay, they are on the forefront of the game. They cannot say this is the shittest game of all time, because then they are the face of the game online. So the people will say, okay, if he says it's shit, then it's shit, right? But they take it to such an extreme where they don't even allow criticism to make the game better. And this is where the criticism comes when people say you are a shill.
Yeah, I mean, if someone shit on Tekken saying Tekken 8 is trash, broken, stupid, of course you're gonna say, okay, calm down, maybe explain your opinions better. But if someone has true opinions about the game, you cannot just dismiss them and say, no, go play something else. It's not how arguments work, you know, it's not how discussions work. That's the main point. Yeah, that's true.
I've ever been paid by Bandai Namco was fucking winning, but also, no, the one Evo appearance with the Chipotle collab. That was the only time I've ever been paid, and it was because I was appearing on stage. But for the amount of heat I'm getting, I should be paid. Give me a check for that. Like, no, I don't get paid for any of my opinions. I have this belief that, like, we in the community play this game a lot. We talk about this game a lot, and it's a lot more fun if people are constructive and just having a good time. I think that I could make so much more money on ad revenue and attention and stuff like that by just shit talking the game. But the fact that but that's like destroying, like,
that's a load of cap. People people say this all the time. There are certain people where you'll go to them for their opinions because you know they're not being disingenuous. They might have a bad take, but they're not being disingenuous. With FDX's brand of content is very much being positive. I don't think FDX would have the staying power, nor do I think it would be good for his pockets if he started shitting on the game. It wouldn't really make any sense for him unless he was actually doing it constructively. And the way he's saying that as well, where he's saying, like, he's almost making out like people are just doing it to get paid. But last time I checked, he's one of the biggest content creators in the Tekken space, right? There's not that many people bigger than him, maybe main man. So
only the main man, basically. Only the main man, right? Everybody else is sort of like eating crumbs when it comes to exclusively talking about Tekken. So I don't know where he's getting that from. Him and main man speak positively about the game, and they make the most money. And everybody else that is like saying negative things about the game are not making as much money. So where is he getting that from?
That's the very good point. That's a very good point. That's also a point of grift. You know, sometimes people take a specific opinion that is very unpopular and say, yeah, this guy is just a grifter. First of all, grift means you take a stance which is already very safe and you cannot go wrong with in the public opinion, and there is no backlash. Then you take that opinion, parrot that opinion over and over again, and then you grift yourself up and you say, okay, I'm gonna do this. Grifting will not work when you take an unpopular opinion with the like big people and then just say what you think is the truth. That's not how grifting works. But they somehow managed to change the definition of the meaning.
Yeah.
I think it's also
my own home. You know what I mean? It's like
It's also because VDX, I think, has constructed a whole image of positivity throughout the years. If you think about it, like it's always been, I think it's not about trying to fake his opinions, but it's also an image is constructed with his character during the years.
The problem with this, bro, let me say one thing about this.
It's almost like it's forced to say positive things, even when things are not very good. Probably also because it's constructed this kind of a character during the years. You've never seen him so negative, even in Tekken 7, Maybe it's also because of that he has to defend his kind of opinions. Maybe, I don't know.
The thing is, Blackheart nowadays, let me tell you something. Negativity sometimes or somehow is now deemed toxic. Toxic negativity is this called as a broad term. Well, they took it to such an extreme where you cannot voice your dislikeness about something where you can point out with an argument why you dislike it. And I call this toxic positivity. And that's what we are suffering under right now. We are not suffering from toxic negativity as if everyone is trying to make it out. We are suffering from toxic positivity. Because the people that want to say, hey, I'm having fun with the game, no one is going for them. Have fun with the game, play the game, enjoy yourself. If you love it, good for you. All power to you. But all we are saying is these toxic positive guys should stop talking negatively about the people that voice their opinion in a way that they don't like.
Yeah, that's true. That's absolutely true.
There's plenty of people that are voicing their opinions constructively. They're just being negative. But to FDX's point, I don't believe that he would have the staying power that he does, both with Bandai Namco and with his audience. Because if you take a look at Mortal Kombat 1, the game was getting ripped for about 10 months. But it's kind of died down now. Like, other than Chaos Reigns coming out, everybody just kind of expects Mortal Kombat 1 to fumble everything, right? We expect it to be shit. The YouTubers that are still making hate content on Mortal Kombat 1 now, they're not pulling numbers because everyone's moved on. So that wouldn't be good financially for FDX to do that. It wouldn't make any sense. He'll get a rush of viewership because it's FDX talking shit about Tekken for maybe the first month or two, but then people will move on, and they'll move on to something else, and Namco will move on for him. Do you think Chipotle is going to reach out to him when he's saying, "Yeah, Heat's rubbish," even if he's doing it constructively? He's going to lose contact. So it would not benefit him in any way, shape, or form long term.
Yeah, he's forced.
Yeah, but at least don't attack us. Like, do your shilling thing, right? But just leave us alone, right? But they don't stop, and then they conflate the conversation, and as if now everyone that criticizes Tekken 8 says, Tekken 7 is the best game, and then this like video of the main man comes where he makes what he does there, and then other people say, Arslan Ash is saying that this game is bad because he's not winning so much. Like, excuse me?
It's still Arslan Ash. I mean, 5 times Evo champion. Right?
Like, excuse me, as if he's not still he's even winning. Or Kokoma, this guy here. I played him in Dubai. I perfected him and a perfect electric and delay top kick. Kokoma, you know that. And then just joking. And then he won the tournament, and he says the game is shit. So where is that argument? They are not winning. People winning tournaments after the tournament say the game makes no sense. Excuse me. Like, at some point, this stuff just needs to stop. I don't know where it is coming from or who started it, but it just needs to stop.
Yeah, it's usually, I think people that are always saying that people that are constructively criticizing a game, if your response is stop crying, I would call your emotional temperament into question. Because if someone purchases a product and they criticize it, they have that right. People do that with everything, right? You go into
Yeah, it's a product.
you go into Auto Trader, right? People buy a car there, they start ripping the car, and they have the right to. They bought the car. So if I buy a product and I don't like it, I don't necessarily have to play it as much anymore. Like I stopped playing Mortal Kombat 1. I still had a right to talk about it. And people saying, "Oh, you're just crying." Those people are actually the ones that are crying because you're talking about the thing they love so much, and for some reason they get upset and they want you to be quiet. And you're just there like, we're just having a conversation.
Like, why do you even consume the content if you don't like it? Like, go away. Like, just look into the other direction. It's kind of easy to do, you know?
Yeah, well, that's what FDX is for. He's saying what you want to hear. So just go and listen to FDX if it upsets you.
This doesn't make any sense, in a logical state of arguments. You can still enjoy a thing but criticize it. It doesn't mean that you hate it, nevertheless.
Exactly.
We are not hating on the game without any reasoning. We are giving our reasons, and it doesn't mean that the game has to die, or I don't know. We have to go play something else. We still love Tekken.
Bro, I've been a WWE fan since I was a child, but from 2010 to 2012 to 2020, it was pretty bad. And as a wrestling fan, I was ripping it, and now it's good. But it doesn't mean that I hate wrestling. And people shouldn't be upset that I was ripping it. But there was a period of time where WWE went through its whole PG era, and it was painful. But as a fan, I wanted to watch it. So I wouldn't. If someone said to me, "Stop crying, Mike," I'd just be like, "What are you talking about?" Like, we all love this thing, but loving it means that you point out when something is wrong.
This is also something that people need to understand, that conflate the argument for saying, yeah, but Tekken 7 went through this phase. No, Tekken 7 went not through this phase, and I will explain to you why. And I will quote Ni. Tetsu asked him, he said, but wasn't it like that in Tekken 7? Ni responded, Tekken 7 was still operating on Tekken. It has balancing issues which we addressed, and they were getting addressed and fixed, but the game was Tekken. Now, it makes no sense. It's not like you nerf Yoshimitsu, Nina, and like Dragunov, and then everything is fine. It's the system that is the issue. And I just want to tell you one thing, because I have been on like this stream thing. You got to understand, guys. I had like 600 viewers, 700, 800. I was close to 1,000. I get things that other people don't get. And what we were told, and me also indirectly, but I didn't listen. Hey guys, stop saying that they use heat and explaining it like it's a system. Say that they are heated, so that the people will not conflate that like dislike with the system. That's very important to them. I'm just gonna point that out to you. You can say I'm lying or not, but that's up to you. And I think this Splitfire guy is just like saying you're crying. There's really no point to have him here, honestly. What do you say? What's the point?
You've never seen so much complaint about Tekken 7 as you're seeing with Tekken 8.
No one ever has complained so much. This is abnormal.
Even
now.
in the worst days of Tekken 7, even when Leroy was released, it was bad, but this bad about a whole ass game, never this way, never.
I want to show up every day and have fun interacting with people. So that is the core reason why I choose to look at the positives, choose to give benefit of the doubt. It's not because I'm getting money, it's because it makes my time day to day more enjoyable, really.
Yeah, okay, so having said that, what do you think of the state of the game right now? I mean, I've been hearing certain things like, oh, he's not playing the game as much as he was before. He's kind of been saying some stuff. He's not feeling so good about it. What do you think right now? Because I'll be honest with you, a lot of the positivity has been coming from people that I didn't expect to come from. And now he's not here to defend himself. He might be watching Speed Kicks. I did not think he'd like this kind of game, but he loves this shit, man. The fact that he doesn't love the guy who I saw backdash more than anyone on the planet in Tekken Tag 2 says he doesn't like Tekken 7. Where you literally had people backdashing on infinite stages, like, but I guess he's a chained man in it. Like, he's a chained man. Speed Kicks. I'll get him on for the next one so he can talk. But Speed Kicks, he says he loves this game, and a lot of the people in NA were kind of following that, yourself as well. But what do you think currently right now where we are at the moment with Tekken 8, and what's your opinion?
I think the most valid complaint about Tekken 8 is that we are incentivized to be aggressive. Outside of the few exceptions, like if you're piloting like a character with strong defensive options, like a Yoshimitsu, a Jun, an Asuka, you are pretty much forced to play aggressively if you want to succeed. And I think
I was not directly told to not speak badly about the heat system. I was told to not call it a system at the very beginning of Tekken 8. And I was told to say the characters are heated.
That is a very valid complaint in a series
No,
that
sorry,
heavily
Medusa,
rewarded
I didn't get
different
this one.
styles.
Sorry, I didn't get this
Like
one.
you could think of like
Yeah, but you
like
did
Tekken 5
5,000
Brian,
viewers,
defensive
motherfucker.
character had
No,
to
no,
use
I don't
movement to be
understand what you
aggressive.
said.
Okay. I said that the streamers, the big
You
ones...
piece of shit. You piece of shit.
Yeah, bro, I'm sorry. I'm a dickhead, I know. So basically...
I would love to... No, sorry. Go
Oh,
on,
please
go on.
don't. Okay, listen. So they said to us that we shall, when we play and we talk about the game, say that the characters are heated. They never wanted us to go with this heat system, but no one listened to them, so they went with it.
Okay.
I would love to see that kind of style come back, where it's still a heavily interactive game where you're constantly making decisions actively in like the threat range of each other, but having a bit more expression with a defensive character using their movement more, and aggressive character still using hitboxes, but having to account for more sidesteps and backdashes would be cool. So I think that is the most valid complaint, and the changes they're making give me hope, right? When you think of like Lydia and Heihachi, insane mix, insane kind of oppression, but very clear neutral weaknesses with their tracking, for example. So it creates this like knife's edge gameplay where if you're a sharp defender and you can call out the right things with your movement, the other character feels useless. But if the other player is better than you at that, they skill gap you, then you feel like you're getting run over. And I kind of like that. I kind of like the idea.
Wow.
I don't know.
And also the Dragonov nerf, back 4-3. Now the whole string is way more steppable. I think that regardless if people prefer aggressiveness or defensiveness, buffing movement, sidesteps, backdashes seems to create more room for more people to play in the ways that they want to. So that is probably my like mini wish list, is like keep it up with giving us sidestep counterplay, giving us backdash counterplay, and
so when he is saying give us sidestep and backdash counterplay, then he is still criticizing the system, even though he will say the system is not the problem because he can't say it. Let me give you an easy example. How is anyone gonna benefit of an increased sidestep or backdash, and the sidestep in Tekken 8 is good, just the problem is the system don't allow you to step? Is because when you're minus 17, when you're minus 15, where are you gonna step, blood?
Yeah, exactly. The movement is not the problem. The movement is even good in this game, I think. The movement right now is nice. Backdash is not the best, but sidestep is very good. The problem is that the system doesn't allow you to use the movement at all, most of times.
Yeah.
Like in Oki situations, in heat situations, where do you have to step?
Sometimes against Lydia, when you're close to the wall also. Bro, it is just like...
they say that Lydia is so linear, but honestly, I don't see that most times.
It's just
in
so
neutral, maybe yes,
disingenuous.
but at the wall.
We have a problem though in this scene. Yeah, go on.
I was going to say, people talk about Tekken characters like they look at them on paper, but when you have characters like Lydia or Eddie in practice, on paper it might say they're minus here, you can duck that, but it's very different when you're fighting somebody using them. And people that use the argument or basing it off of their frame data, I find it to be pretty weak. Because Eddie's always been a menace as far as I'm concerned. Even if on paper he's a low tier, in practice he's a nightmare to deal with.
He is.
Absolutely.
He is. I think also like people need to understand that when we say, for example, a character is not fun to fight against, it doesn't mean that the character is OP'd in the classic sense. It means also that what I need to do every round to play against your character is so unreasonable that it takes out the fun of the game, and that's why the people are getting upset. Because even when I really go to the character select screen and I ask the people, who do you like to fight against? They say, yeah, I like the majority of the game. Then I say, okay, How many characters do you like to fight against? Yeah, I don't like this character. This is bullshit. Eddie is not fun. 50-50. Lydia is a train. This Dragunov is OP. Alisa makes no sense. Victor power crush. Alisa power crush. This and that.
No,
Kazui.
Victor is honest. Victor is trash.
Yeah, whatever. But what they say is basically they like to fight against 5 characters of the entire cast and of 35 plus characters, and then they want to tell me they like the game. No, you like 5 aspects of the game, and that's it.
Yeah, exactly. Absolutely true. It's a general thing that doesn't it's unbelievably oppressive in the long term. It's not about characters.
Even when I watch the main man, every character he gets, oh, this character again. Yeah, this is only
This
gimmick.
character,
Yeah,
yeah.
fuck this. Yeah, what am I supposed to do? Yeah, this is so unfun. Okay, let's go DBD. So
Yeah.
there's a reason why he feels that. And that
Everybody
we are
feels
only
that, I
pointing
guess,
it out. We are only pointing it out. That's all.
I think everybody
As that
feels
level-
like that when we play Tekken 8.
It's out across
Yeah,
the
everyone
cast.
feels that. Absolutely.
Not characters who can really just do whatever they want. We might see a lot less frustration. Maybe people will always find something to complain about, but I think it'd be cool.
Joker, what do you think right now then with the state of Tekken 8, man? I'll read a tweet out to you actually by our good friend Mr. Arslan Ash, Mr. 5-time Evo champion. What did he say? He said, the state of Tekken, I'm not gonna do it in his voice by the way. The state of Tekken is extremely...
Wait, you gotta do it in his voice,
Nah,
please.
I can't. He gets so
Please.
mad now. He gets so mad when I do it in his...
Jamanji, the things that you saying with the hurt box, this is a different issue. What we are saying is, okay, the sidestep is good enough, but the system doesn't allow you to step because first of all, after a heat smash on block, you can't sidestep. And after
Exactly.
specific moves that the frame data is unreasonable, for example, Leroy's while standing free, etc., you can't sidestep either. So in those scenarios, okay, when that were gone, what would happen? Then you would end up with characters moving the first hit of a string and then all the moves that come afterwards automatically realigning to you. So you need to continuously be on your toes. Why can someone with a whole string and then just mash it through until the hits just naturally realign with the opponent that already stepped? Or why do you need to look at Dragunov whiffing a heat smash and then just looking at the train coming at you with full speed and you just gotta take it? Those moments are the moments that are frustrating, they are unreasonable, and that's why every time you play Tekken, and it's very unfortunate, everyone hates everyone, because when you make a character broken, unreasonable, and easy to use, you create a situation where you can never appreciate what your opponent did, and you always feel like you lost to the game and not to the
gambling,
opponent.
basically to gambling, basically.
Yeah,
most of
you
the
can
times.
delude yourself at the beginning when you're not so good yet and say, hey, I didn't lab. But what happens when you already hit God of Destruction and you know the situations and you come to the realization, well, there was nothing to know here. You can't do shit. And that's the
game
issue.
is basically the game is basically become rock paper scissors, just in a fighting game, environment. Basically,
Yeah.
that's what it is
voice.
now.
He goes, I
Rock,
don't talk
paper,
like that anymore. I go,
He can get mad at me about it.
no, I can't do it. I can't do it.
It's like it's authenticity. We value so much authenticity in this community, you know.
I can't do it, bro. I can't. No. The chat's trying to get me to. I'm not doing it.
Come on.
Just the last sentence. Just the last sentence.
No. Bro, he didn't get so mad. He got so mad when I did last time. He was like, I don't talk like that anymore, bro. That was in the past.
Well, okay, yeah, that's even better. That he doesn't talk like that. Give us his old voice.
I'm not doing it. This guy ripped. Always trying to get me in trouble. I'll tell him what. Shall I tell him what you did to me at Gamers 8? He doesn't even remember himself.
I don't know.
Do you remember what this guy? Actually, I'll tell you what this guy did. I was on host.
I don't know what happened. It wasn't me. That's all I know.
Video in which
Actually,
it
it was
summarizes the
Nah,
point.
but yeah, I'm not gonna.
Okay,
I
for it
think I
again,
saw a
Rick.
video in which it summarizes
problem,
the main
you got it.
points. I think.
Dude, arson voice. No one forgot. Everyone's still waiting for it.
The tweet was, the state of Tekken is extremely volatile right now. The more I play the game, the more depressed I become. It feels like the game has devolved into a single launcher followed by 50-50 mix-ups and that's it. The game needs systematic changes more than balance changes.
Wait a second. I think this is important.
What?
Arslan.
Ah,
Ash.
yeah.
And let me just quickly. This is the newest tweet.
Tekken 7 better than Tekken 8.
What FGC opinion will you defend like this, Dan?
I also made a tweet on this, by the way. I said that Brian's difficulty is overrated and it caused a lot of backlash.
Yeah.
You also made one, Medus.
Yeah, but it is what, bro. Hello. It's okay.
In my opinion. Joker.
I agree with that.
Yeah, honestly, I agree with that 100%. The state right now is an absolute mess. And it's not just the state, it's all these guys that are just downplaying their mains. I mean, they were dog shit in Tekken 7 and somehow they're good in Tekken 8. It's like, it's crazy. But
Like you, Joker.
I have a long list, man. I could read out the list on my second monitor.
Yeah, do it.
Anyways,
Go for
let me carry on talking. There's so many things we need to talk about. Like what Arsalan said, it's not just balance, it's systematic changes. This is why I'm scared of season 2. I think they need more time. I think they're starting to understand what needs to be nerfed, but again, there's so much more things they need to look at. Like, what if, they add new mechanics? This is something I spoke to FDX about. What if they add new mechanics in season 2, which is possible? They did that in Tekken 7. Like, what would happen? Like so many, world bans potentially. Like so many.
You think this might happen in season 2 that we get, instead of the mechanics nerfed, we get another one?
Maybe it will cause even more backlash, honestly. I don't know what Mike feels, but that's what I feel personally. Will cause much bigger backlash. Probably. Yeah. It probably it would be better if they would maybe. I almost thought a lot of times about this. Maybe they could add a defensive mechanic in it. I thought about this maybe. For example, I don't know, when someone is attacking, maybe a special power crush for everyone in it. But I don't know, it would be so stupid. I don't know if they go this
Just
route.
imagine this scenario, yeah? You play against Paul.
Maybe.
Okay. He does one death fist, wall split, bounce. Into a resplit, into a screw, into heat activation, into a heat dash, into another death fist. Like, I mean, the thing is, everything is possible. The developers are so crazy and so far away from what means Tekken at this point. They wanted to give us 2 heat dashes, remember?
Or maybe imagine, a mechanic in which you can escape from combos. Maybe you are at the wall, they bring back the Tekken 4 mechanic in it, in which with some heat activation, you escape from a wall, and you don't hit a wall combo, maybe.
Thank God we didn't get 2 heat dashes, bro. That they showed that in the beginning of the new system. When they showed it, they showed Paul death fist into heat dash, death fist, another dash. I was like, wait a minute. What am I supposed to do here then?
Basically, if you activated heat burst, you had only 1 heat chain.
Yeah.
If you hit with a heat engage, you had 2.
Yeah, you had 2
heat
chains.
Yeah, and basically
Nice.
you could do insane amounts of things. Yeah.
Amazing.
Change.
Amazing.
It's not like, I agree with Arslan. I think the more you play, the more you understand. Now I have like 1,000 plus hours now, and I've only just started to realize like this game is very it's mentally taxing, it's exhausting. There's so many canned mix-up situations where like you're forced to guess, but I feel like against certain characters it's not that bad. But when you look at the top tiers, and a lot of characters are top tier.
Now, unfortunately, there will come a situation where he calls out the people that downplay the characters, and now he will downplay Fang.
The game's a mess. And I don't think it's like it's ready for competitive.
Can you stop for a moment?
Really? You got that far saying it's not ready?
I think it doesn't get worse only with top tiers. I think with every card, the game is oppressive. Joker thinks that maybe only against the top tiers, but the game is oppressive against everyone. I think every card, even the weak ones. I mean, the so-called weak ones. I mean,
I would
it's not
even
about
argue.
the
I
top
made a
tier.
tier list. I made S, A, and B plus, and that was it. There is no C and D tier in Tekken 8. I mean, please.
No. Absolutely. Like even people that put Panda in bottom tier, it's not true. She's just useless because Kuma does her stuff.
Does
better,
her job
but
better, yeah.
She's not weak. but she's not weak. She's
I
absolutely.
just want to point out that Joker said that there's a lot of canned mix-ups and forced situations, and we've been having this argument on social media for some time now, where people are saying that forced 50-50s are not a thing, and forced situations. And I just want to point out that yet again, another top player, and quite possibly one of the best Feng in the world, right, or at least top 5, is also saying that there's forced 50-50s. So I just want to point out for the people that keep on saying that there's not, and that this kind of 50-50 has existed before in Tekken. I just want to point out that yet again, somebody who has thousands of hours on the game is also saying it, and people from games that don't even play Tekken are telling seasoned Tekken players that you don't know what you're talking about. So I just want to point that out in case they're listening.
Yeah, this is.
Mike
I've
is
seen
very
you talk
proud.
with them. I was thinking about writing a comment, but then I realized the basis of the conversation is just. It's like trying to talk about the string theory with first graders. Like,
Yeah.
there is no point. Like when I, for example, say this, okay, Brian can do taunt into heat smash, buffer it, in case he hits, in case he doesn't hit, is plus 17, and then you need to guess. They do not understand this concept, so therefore there is no point to talk with them about it.
The reason that they keep on bringing it up is because they have seen mix-ups in games like Marvel and Third Strike and whatever, and I keep on explaining to them, Marvel is not Tekken. Just because a mix-up exists with Sentinel and Storm and Magneto does not mean that it's acceptable in Tekken. And the reason that Tekken players are getting annoyed about it is that we've never seen forced canned situations like this ever. The only exception is right at the end of Tekken 7 when they included that stupid wall splat, and it forces you to go to the ground and take a mix-up. And I don't like that mechanic. I think it's stupid. But you got these players from Guilty Gear and other games telling Tekken players that there's not forced 50-50s in this game. And I'm just sitting and I'm like, what universe, what dimension did you guys walk out of? It's so obvious. Everybody is saying it, and you got people from other games telling Tekken players it's not happening.
It's actually mad, yeah. It's actually crazy.
It's crazy. And then they're calling people crybabies and whiners online. I'm just like, and the common low IQ talking point is get good. Meanwhile, you're telling get good to players
They're
that
right,
are
though. They're
best
right, though.
in the world.
They're right though.
Blackheart, bro, don't. That's don't.
Yeah,
They're telling players that are the best in the world get good. Like, come on, man, be for real.
Yeah, it makes no sense. Yeah, I also don't go into Guilty Gear and talk about now the balancing mechanics because I'm a good Tekken player. Well, I don't know shit about your game, but they do that in reverse.
Good. Average. Come on, average.
Okay, like that. Average. Okay.
You know, average. Yeah.
It's ready, but I don't think to the extent of other games were, in my opinion, in other Tekken.
I'm sorry, may I jump in for a split second? You mentioned like some characters it doesn't feel like a problem. Do you have like an example, not for me to call you out, but just for me to illustrate a point I wanted to make?
Heihachi, Lydia, I think characters like that are not too bad. Honestly, like
Disagree.
Isn't he a Heihachi main as well?
He's a Heihachi main. First of all, Heihachi makes no sense. This notion of he's not so good, like he has a launcher, 12 frame launcher, 13 frame launcher once a round, and he has a 13 frame launcher all the time now with perfect electric. And in case he launches you for I-14, he has the hardest punish in the game because he deletes health bars like it's just another day in the office.
Heihachi Warrior Instinct. Heihachi after he hits smash on block. I mean, the situation in which you have to guess are endless, even against him, I guess.
They think like just because the neutral is linear, if Heihachi wouldn't be linear, he wouldn't be playable against. And the fifth, when then they say he doesn't have good lows. Well, you don't get your opponent to duck with Heihachi by doing lows. You get him to duck by doing high homing, unblockable guard breaks. Like it's.
But also
think...
in Warrior Instinct, he has probably the most broken low in the game. So I know it's for 1-1, but still, you know, it compensates.
In what world is that a bad character where you essentially, when you lose one round with your install, you need to really blame yourself? Like, you get one round for free with Heihachi. That's abnormal.
Exactly.
And he has heat on top of that. So he goes into install, into heat, into the. You can't. This round with Heihachi is not winnable normally. Really isn't.
Exactly. Against a good Heihachi player.
Yeah.
No,
The
basically.
only
If
reason
Joka-
why you win is because as soon as they know they are OP'd, they just run in like idiots and get hop kicked. That's all.
Yeah, and because they do the hell sweeps. Yeah.
There's so many other characters as well.
Like
Which of the
Big Nose.
characters are there?
Horang.
Horang, I'm not scared of Horang. I think Kazuya as well. Like a character like Kazuya, it's all about the pilot. I like things like that. If a character is strong, at least it's locked behind execution or something. But when there's characters like Yoshi running around and Nina and Dragunov, where I can give my nephew 5 hours to play on my PC and he'll start beating these top players. Like it's not. Like,
So would you?
He's right on that. He's right on that.
That made him not happy. He is now regretting and thinking about his sponsorship with Bandai Namco.
Look at his face.
Shit, guys, where did you get me? You fuck.
agree with the idea that the reason why like Lydia, Heihachi, Kazuya, and other like characters tend to be less scary is because you have more defensive counterplay, right? You have like sidesteps, you have backdashes, you have like option select defense. Like, is that why you think it's a bit easier?
This is something I spoke to like Arslan about and the Pakistani players, especially Atif as well. And I said to him, like, I think them buffing specifically backdash and sidestep would fix so many problems, especially backdash. Now, I understand the main direction of the game is aggressiveness, there's chip damage, etc., etc. But I think like sidestep and backdash movement would change so many things. And also, something that Ranked spoke about was the plus frames on heat engages and whatnot. That's also something that needs to be looked at. Again, another thing that needs to be looked at is heat smashes on block and on hit. Why are you forced to guess after Link's heat smash on hit? It makes no sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, Ling, one of those characters also where... Why would you design a character in a way that you will never be appreciated when you win? Like, when was the last time you said good games to a Ling Xiaoyu player?
No, if a Link player comes into my chat and says, good games, good see, after winning with their bullshit card, I just ban them.
I'm like, what good games? Like, what was there to play? You
What
played
good
your
games
own single-player game.
What good games?
It's more comparable to Crash Bandicoot, where all of a sudden Crash runs towards the camera and runs away from a dinosaur or something, and you need to jump over the obstacles.
But you know what? Every time I say that Xiaoyu is broken, sometimes it's, but Xiaoyu doesn't have any good results in tournaments. Nobody picks her. She's hard to play.
This is such a bad argument.
Yeah, that's a bad argument, of course. And also, yeah, but she has bad neutral.
Bad neutral. She doesn't need to engage in neutral. Why would she need neutral?
Yeah. Like, they play the most broken cards in the game. They play the most broken cards in the game, and every time they say, but they downplay. They play the most broken shit ever, and they downplay. That's crazy. It always seems crazy to me, honestly, not gonna lie.
Yeah.
You're 17.
It's crazy.
Yeah, like, there's so many other characters I could talk about. Like, it's insane. But you know what? I'm optimistic. I pray Bandai Namco listens to us. I'm sure they will. Tekken 7 was great, although 2Ds existed, but 2Ds don't exist now. I'm optimistic.
Yeah, but I feel everyone is 2D now, so...
Yeah.
I'm still going to play the game. I love Tekken. Let's keep grinding.
I'm optimistic too, but I do want to break down what you think the issues are, Joker. You mentioned a couple of them, but we'll get back to you. Rip, what's your take on the game? Of course, you've been competing in this game for a long time now from multiple Tekkens. You've seen Tekken 6, even before that, Tekken Tag 2, Tekken 7, Tekken 8 now. Is the game more volatile now than it's been before competitively? And what do you think it's volatile and like Joker said, maybe not so ready for a world tour at the moment?
It's definitely volatile, but I think that's mainly because we're coming off Tekken 7, which had so many years to kind of refine itself, right? So I think players like me who have been around for like a decade plus, we've seen all these games come out, and that first year is always brutal. It's always really, really rough. So this is the first time they've put it straight to console, right? Like, if I think back to Tekken 5, when that first came out, that first year was disgusting. Like, that game was actually not ready for competitive, Like, Tekken 8 is much closer to competitive than Tekken 5 ever was.
I think this is a bad argument
Why?
because we are in a different time. We have hot fixes, we have patches, we have Steam. It is a argument against what he is saying if he points out, yeah, on PlayStation 2 days, Tekken 5, yeah, that came out broken. Yeah, okay, wait a minute. We are now in 2024. The whole franchise changed. What's the point of saying, okay, maybe this is dog shit, but you know what? It was way more dog shit before. Or saying like, yeah, maybe this smells like horse shit, but dog shit smells even worse. What's the point of that?
Yeah, and also it's also good to point out that when they first showed us Heat, they got so much backlash that they nerfed it. And I think if they had released Tekken 8 in its original state, when it had the 2 token system,
I would have not.
Tekken 5 would have been a much better, much more competitive game. So to basically make out like it's comparable is pretty stupid in my opinion.
Yeah.
Right, and that's why you end up getting the Dark Resurrection. Tekken 6.0, same kind of issue there. 7.0 was just a weird small game. It wasn't even really filled out yet, it felt like. But, you know, when you look at Tekken 7, people, they talk about it in terms of like, I don't want to go back to Tekken 7. Tekken 7 was whack and this and that. But Tekken 7 had like 7 versions within that one game, right? Like, I like Tekken 7 Season 2, right? After that, I felt like things just started slowly falling off, you know?
Which Tekken 7 iteration did you guys like the most? Because I be honest, I am here really invested since Season 3, I think, beginning and Season 2.
I to be honest with you, I like Tekken 7 the whole way through. I really enjoyed what they did with it. I know that some seasons, some characters were doing crazy shit, but I can't sit here honestly and say I was put off by any particular season. So I was pretty happy when Negan came in. Whatever season that was, I remember being really invested in the game. That's probably the time that I played it the most. But yeah, no, Tekken Tag 2 and Tekken 7, I was pretty happy the whole way through. Maybe even Tekken 6. I think I was a little bit, at first when I saw Rage, I was a bit like, oh, what the hell is this? But I got over it eventually because there was no super moves in that game. Tekken 7, I think when I first saw supers, I wasn't happy, but playing it over time, I remained I was like cool to very happy with the game from beginning to end.
Yeah, I like Tekken 7 all the way through. Also, the way I played, obviously it had some issues, but the problem was at least not the game itself, but specific characters that I could point out to, where I would say, yeah, this, and it was mostly also the DLCs, like Kunimitsu, Zafina, and Geese was a problem, like Akuma was a problem. There was a lot of problems. Thank you for the raids, Kuni TV.
Noctis.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Don't you dare say Noctis.
Yeah, Noctis also, and yeah, these characters, they were the problem, right?
You piece of you piece of okay.
But you know, the Tekken 7, the good thing about it was like a labyrinth. You're trying to reach like the core, which is like Tekken, and then you need to avoid like specific characters through the labyrinth, like Akuma is here, then you need to avoid Release Leroy. But when you reached at the core, it was sometimes really fun to play against other people, especially death matches, etc. You went through the shit times so you could enjoy the good times where the matches were fun and the characters were cool. Now, that fun moment doesn't come anymore. It's just only miserable.
Yeah. It's pain the whole way through. I literally just got to Tekken God Supreme and I was like dragging my face through glass. It was hell to get there. Because like my promotion match was against Lydia as well, and it was just like, oh my god.
Hell.
Imagine saying that it's hell playing ranked to Tekken God Supreme with Fang. Imagine.
Oh my god, this guy.
Yeah.
And I feel like that just kind of continued into Tekken 8. So looking ahead into Tekken 8 Season 2, I'm a little concerned, you know, but FDX, he brought up a great point about, you know, allowing basically player diversity through the play style of the characters. And I thought about it when he was describing it. And back in like Tekken 5, Tekken 6, James and I used to play martial law together. We were both top law players in Tekken 6, but we played it completely different. I was a complete turtle style. I wanted to just turtle out. I wanted to use defensive sidesteps, counter magic fours, you know, and get use keep out moves to keep people away from me. James is the complete opposite, complete aggression. And you don't really get that kind of distinction in player styles with the same characters anymore because the aggression is kind of forced on you now. So that was a really interesting point that I really liked. And I do wish that Tekken 8 had more of that.
Something I should add with
He's
what
very
Rich said
right
as
on
well.
that, not
Another
gonna
reason
lie.
why I'm optimistic
One of
is because
the
they're
one
still
of
regularly
the
patching out
greatest
the
points,
game
you
now.
know,
They could just leave it like they do the
one
Tekken
of the
5
greatest
stuff,
points
but
here.
they're not, you
I
know.
think,
And I think I like
Rick
the way
did
the direction
right
that
now.
Tekken 7 went. Like they were listening to community feedback. The direction and stuff in general was good, although there were some problems. Again, I don't think we should like the person I am. I don't like to compare the games. I like to accept every Tekken game the way it is, but I'm still like very optimistic. Like with the patches that have come out for Tekken 8 and the direction they're taking, I think eventually it will get better. And of course, this is like the arcade version. It's the
Hopefully.
first year. Everyone knew it was going to be crazy, but it could have been so much worse, you know. So
Could have been
I
way
wanna-
worse.
yeah,
I
that's
want to
something.
echo Joker's opinion there for sure. Like I think the way that the team has talked about how they're looking at defense, how they're looking at reducing like the defense patch. We want to remove oppressive situations. They show directionally that they're going in the right way, even if they whiff in some explicit examples. They are doing what they say they will. Like they say they'll minimally patch, so they minimally patch. They will look at this defensive, like making it more fun being the one on the receiving end of these horrible mix-ups. They are expressing and moving in that direction, even if it's slower than like modern gamers want, right?
Yeah. But we'll break down again like what it is specifically because
What does he mean by that when he says slower than modern gamers want? He means
It
the
depends
casual
on who
audience
is-
that does not exist, I guess. I think this is the point that we
Yeah,
talked
it dep-
before, right?
Yeah, I don't know who he's talking for. I don't know, like for example, I think most of gamers like don't need constant aggressiveness in order to have fun. But maybe it's just me, maybe. Like I don't know if Boonga Boonga is really a gameplay that is fun for a lot of people. I honestly don't think so. In the long term, maybe for some matches, yeah.
Fighting
But in
games
long term,
live
it
through
gets-
the longevity and not through the first initial impact. That's
exactly,
been historical.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. That's why.
Again,
I don't know who he's talking for.
No.
if you're optimistic about change, you have to outline what change you want, or you have to outline what the problems are, right? And I think everyone here might have a different idea of what the actual problems are. We'll talk about that. But before, we need to go to Kokoma, because Kokoma, you've been very outspoken about what you feel about this game. You said, I remember I went to your stream one time and you said, I can't play this game too long. It's too difficult for my mind to play for too long. It's stressful. You said, everything is 50-50, 50-50, 50. Shibai, tired of doing 50-50 the whole time.
Shibai.
He goes, I feel like we're on Las Vegas first floor. What do you think, Kokoma? Tell us. Talk to us about what you think of Tekken 8.
Okay. Yeah. I have two topic for this conversation.
Okay.
First thing is of course about the game, but second one was actually the online system, the netcode.
Mhm.
But yeah, let's go the first topic.
Yeah.
This game first time when they show the Tekken 8 comes out, the company said the game will be easy for noob and middle player and hard for professional player.
So that basically means the skill gap has been reduced so much that if the pro player wants to be significantly better than the medium or average player, and that reflecting in his like winning consistency, he needs to try much harder or twice as hard in order to gain the same amount of output back, because it is broken basically.
Yeah, for example, think about a pro player going against a new or I don't know, maybe mid-intermediate player. He still has to guess a lot of times during the match. Even a good player can guess wrong. That's the point. That's why the skill gap is not as big as it was before. Because before, to create your mix-up opportunities, you had to work for it. Now it's way easier going into mix-up opportunities, and for pro players, it's harder. It's as hard as new players.
An average player could never put knee into a 50-50 that easily because he wouldn't be able to create the situation. But now every idiot can press R1.
Exactly, and they can put even the best players in the world in a guessing situation. And guessing is just guessing. Sometimes it's just luck. Luck is not skill. Luck is just luck. So it depends on your guesses, on what you think it needs to be done now. And there's no study that can be done during mix-ups situations, basically.
I have an interesting point to that, actually. You know,
What?
when they say, I have an interesting point to that, then people, they say this, because I always remember what the people say about these things. Yeah, if Tekken wouldn't be Tekken and it wouldn't be balanced, then why do still the good players win? Okay, listen, the thing is that Tekken, in the state that it is right now, they work twice as hard in the neutral in the moments where they can do something and try to outplay you 10 times more than before in order to win against you. The only reason why they still are able to win against you is because they were so far away from you, you just got closer to them because of the system. That's all.
Yeah.
No, but also there has been a huge upsets in this game. That could not. I honestly don't think
Of
that
course.
could have never happened in previous games. I think
Of
sometimes it happens in tournaments. I don't want to say because I don't want to flame anybody, but it happened. Let's say just that it happened during a lot of tournaments. There have been huge upsets that I think never could have happened in previous Tekkens. Like European mid-level, I think players winning against Korean players.
Sonic
It happened a lot
Fox
of times.
playing the game, Tekken on the side, playing a bit Zafina, and then winning against DRX Infested, or who was it?
I mean, they happen constantly, much more than they happened before.
And then he went on
always
live on
happened
stream
before.
and he said, you know what? That's the reason why Tekken is shit. How can I beat a Korean like that in a tournament and send him into losers?
Yeah, that's an example, but it happened a lot of times. It's not like it's not happening. Of course, maybe in the end, the good players always win. But it can still happen, a match in which casino gameplay makes you lose. In the first 2-2 especially.
Yeah.
In the first 2-2 especially.
And we just realized that way, the only way is actually just gambling for now. We are just doing the whole super much plus frame and just dog or sit 50-50 and 50-50. If you hit, I'm gonna win. If I fail, then okay, I'm gonna go back home. The game is like just throw my 50-50. That's all. Or even
It's
all
so based.
character is like that.
BDX looking pissed.
It's like
Look at the other. Yeah, look
Even
at the other.
PDX is not. Wait, let me see what they're saying in the chat. Wait a second.
Yeah.
Is
it would be
anyone gonna
cursed.
say here that PDX looks pissed? I doubt it, but maybe. No, actually not. Okay, I was like, because really, I looked at his face a lot, bro. Every time they say stuff like that, it's like he turns sour.
Kokoma is spitting facts right now. A lot of
I'm really
facts.
confused that
That's just
there
his
is
face.
the
Well,
really
maybe.
super top tier character, because in Burst 2, every character are really super typical 50-50. They are just doing that whole in game. It's
You see,
the system is actually
Medus,
problem.
he's saying what we're
The
saying about the
characters'
characters.
all
You
moveset
mean?
is
No.
Kokoma is saying
just
the same
for
thing. Every character
50-50.
is OP. Every character
They
has
should
broken
change
things.
this thing first. It's all characters concept is, I feel like same.
Yeah, that is a good point. Because of the heat system, you don't play the character. You would just play what he has
You
in
play
heat.
Tekken
And
with
then
every
it's
different
50-50. Yeah.
Yeah. They thought they could bring more,
Uniqueness,
differentiating the
and then
characters
unified
more.
everything.
Yeah, but every character plays the same basically.
I really wonder, like, okay, I don't think we need to be now Isaac Newton, Stephen Hawking, and Albert Einstein to understand
Einstein.
when they say, okay, we want to make the character's characteristics or the identity emphasize this and reflect in the game plan. And then effectively in the game design, they just make everyone the same by giving them a unified system. So how do they not notice this?
Yeah.
They know what they're doing.
They know what they are doing, what they say what they want to do, and what they actually do is the exact opposite. So you got to understand when they say we want to emphasize the identity of each and every character, they will then do the opposite. Always just look at what effectively happens, never what they promise you. It's a very weird situation.
They all force you
Yeah,
into
yeah.
50-50.
I feel the same.
Yeah, so I mean, okay, so yeah, what do you guys think? I think, okay, if we break it down, I want to ask you, Kagoma, do you think that Feng is a character that can do that to you as well?
No.
So Joker says no, not 50-50, but you play Feng. You said every character is 50-50. Is Feng 50-50 character as well?
No.
Okay, Feng's not.
Honestly,
Feng's
I-
not, guys.
Pause it.
Oh my God, here we go, guys.
I'm a Feng main. Hold on, I'm a Feng main. That is a lie. Feng does put you in 50-50 situations. When you go into heat against Feng's got a guard break. He's also got 3+4. 3+4 doesn't even have to touch you. It makes you fall to the floor, and then you have to guess what's going to happen next. He's either going to sweep your legs, which is going to go into like a 50% combo, or he's going to do he's going to press 3, and he's going to kick you over your head, which is going to go into another mix-up, or he can press 2, which goes into his shoulder or his forward 3. They're capping. Like let's be real now.
Yeah.
I'm a
Yeah,
Feng
but
main.
also the full crouch mix-up. Yes.
Unfortunately, Joker and Kokoma are Feng mains, and Joker criticizes that everyone defends their main, and then they keep doing it. Like it's there's like a time span of 10 minutes between that sentence and this behavior now.
Yeah.
You guys know that.
People are
You
gonna think
guys
we're
know that
downplaying and stuff. But like,
every time.
What was the
every time,
downplaying main character thing about? Yeah.
I want to say this. Like, before I say it, yeah, okay, I'm gonna change my word. Almost character. Almost.
yeah, that's what I said to. That's what I said earlier as well. It's not all characters. I feel like it's just a few like not a few characters, but quite a lot of characters that just like force you to non-stop. Like Shaheen, for instance, they gave him his new punish, his 12-frame punish, which knocks you down for some reason, and then you're forced to guess. Like, what was the reason for that? Like, why? I don't understand.
Thank you.
And then
Joker,
there's
for
like
this.
other
Thank
characters,
you.
of course,
That's
like
very
you know,
true.
I
Dragonite.
swear to God, I hate fighting against Shaheen, even though I love to fight
Yeah.
against Shaheen. Bro, this while standing move that he has, is that while standing 1, this neutral block?
Yeah.
What's a neutral on block?
Bro,
What's
what even
standing?
is that? They don't do anything else.
Bro, I honestly think Shine is top 5. Probably one of the most downplay over.
Bro,
they are
sometimes I
sleeping on
play with
Shine.
Sephi Black, bro, and like
Yeah.
maybe win
It's a
sometimes,
nightmare,
maybe
it's a
lose
nightmare.
sometimes, but bro, every game he does the same. I'm not criticizing Sephi Black, he knows that, but this is the effective way to play duck while standing 1 on block and then bait for the CH all the time. Like, and
Yeah,
then outside of that, slides mix up, and that's it. Like, huh?
I made a whole ass video on Shane. I think he's one of the most slept on characters in the game. I think he's actually top 5, and he has no weaknesses. I don't think he has a weakness in this game right now.
Yeah.
Honestly.
Is a perfect example. I like the QCF4 nerf, but it's still a mix-up. Like, why am I still forced to guess? I don't get it. It's weird, man. It's weird.
Yeah, QCF4 kind of might have been a buff in some ways as well.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
because it leaves you standing. Fee, what do you think of that, man? 50-50. Every character is 50-50. According to Kokoma, not every character, but most of the characters are 50-50. And it's a gambling game where you force, if you hit first, you win. If I hit, then I win. What do you make of
We
that?
can't sit still anymore, bro.
Steve Fox.
Yeah, Steve Fox, yeah.
But also, no, I think so. I think it's a common theme I hesitate to call it a systemic issue. So that was where I had like this is where like my thought I think deviated from Arslan's. And again, I want to make it clear that he plays the game 50 billion times more than I do. He has more understanding, more knowledge. So my view is way closer to a casual or like a competitive casual's view than literally 5-time Evo champion.
I disagree. He doesn't have the mindset of a part-time casual at all. Otherwise, he would reflect the opinion, for example, of MikeHollow. MikeHollow is not like a pro player, and you explained yourself your relationship to the game. And what you say, I felt, is what most people in your position feel, and this is my position also. And he doesn't reflect that in his behavior and in his talks.
No, because he's trying to stay in the good graces of Namco. It's very clear what's going on here. Like, I don't mean to like put FDX down. I get it. Like, monetary gain, I understand all of it, but we can all see what's happening here. We've never ever seen Tekken in this state before, and every character is making you guess for your life because every round they start with heat. They could alleviate so many problems if they made you earn heat, or if they just gave it to you once per fight. Like, you use it, it's your trump card. If you mess up, that's it. It's over. That way, I can be like, okay, I still don't like it. I don't want it in the game. But at least I don't have to deal with it every round. And at least you have to use some common sense instead of getting given something for free. I mean, you're already given rage arts for free. You do nothing to earn a rage art. You get a boost in power, and then you get a super move that breaks up the flow of the game. And then I have to worry about heat and you dashing in my face. I guess you're just throwing things at players. And then when legacy players and people that have been playing Tekken for a long time are saying, this is annoying, this doesn't feel like Tekken, you've got people there saying, "Oh, what are you talking about?" Like, I don't understand. Like, are we not looking at the same game?
Yeah,
I want to make that clear. But I think that it's a character specific issue in many ways. Like, we have two Fang players saying Fang doesn't do it.
What happened to his voice?
Wait, let's go.
It sounds like Optimus Prime.
Okay, let's listen again.
Then literally 5-time Evo champion. I want to make that clear.
He sounds like he's communicating
I think
from
that it's a
like,
character specific
I am PDX, I'm a robot sent from
issue. In many ways. Like, we have two Fang
he sounds
players
like
saying
he's
Fang doesn't
communicating
do
from the
it
big
that
Getty
much,
Stark.
right?
I can't understand what he's saying.
Is it really that
the
bad?
program.
Wait, maybe it's because of my stream. Wait, I restarted. Wait a second. I'm not sure if it is because of my stream right now, because I don't know what you guys mean. I don't want to just laugh like a dumbass and pretend as if I know. So listen now.
Compared to say Dragunov, compared to say,
it's fine now.
Is it fine now? So it was the Discord.
Like if he was a robot for some moments. But okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I got it. That was the issue, alright.
Like Eddie, like literally straight 50-50 characters.
Player.
I think it's a character design issue and kind of the like. Yes, they have this overarching philosophy of aggressiveness that is changing over time, but you see it manifest in characters in different ways, right? So like, I think I actually really. I'm not looking for Steve buffs in particular. I think Steve's in a good place because here I'm breaking the downplay rule, but it's because I think he fits his theme very well. And I think there's a lot of ways to play him. You can choose to play him more defensively. You can choose to play him like really aggressively, weaving around, trying to be all tricky. And it people have made it work. So I think that we see tons of problem situations with characters. The Shaheen example is perfect. Why in the world does he have that? Right? Ling heat smash on hit. I think there's tons of situations that the characters have been given, but I don't think there's a blanket change you can make, like say like nerf heat in this way for everybody and it fixes everything. Like, for example, the defense patch where we gave people the ability to sidestep heat burst feels like it makes Dragunov stronger. Like, you can't contain this guy. It's even harder to contain this guy. I think that sweeping changes are going to make it more difficult to fix the issue rather than looking at each character, looking at what horrendous nonsense do they have individually, and then kind of going from there. I think it's very dangerous to try to apply a wide
but the problem is that
fix to the
this
whole...
problem is for every character. So that's why we're talking about a general system change, because heat affects everyone everyone negatively, not just one character or the other. So it's good that we have to analyze single characters, but this is a common issue. It's not just one character.
You know what I don't what I find interesting? So when we react to this, and this is why I wanted to react to a reaction, when we react to this of our point of view, the people that are based and talk the truth are Kokoma and Joker, am I right?
For the most part, yeah.
Yeah. And VDX is basically the quote unquote bad guy, but obviously he's not. We're just pointing out just to put it into perspective.
I think it just has a different opinion.
I'm just saying, like, we don't agree with him, right?
Okay. Yeah, I don't agree.
Okay.
I don't agree with most of the things.
Okay, now when you watch it from the main man's perspective, he says, and I quote, "Oh, this guy, his takes are so nuanced. This is the only guy worth listening to be honest." And apparently they are just the Tekken 8 haters, the Tekken 7 glazers. It's so unbelievable.
Yeah, that's ridiculous.
I didn't see him talking about this. Maybe
I watched. That's what I meant. That's why I said let's watch his reaction, but it would take too long. But the point is, wherever we have an opinion, he has the exact opposite. It is as if it is like a collective situation. Do you know what I'm trying to say?
Yeah.
The way he backs him up, the way it's just weird. I just don't understand it because, okay, I do understand it, and we pointed it out often enough, but I'm just saying, I wanted to say it one last time. The people are not blind. Me, myself, I always say what the truth is. You know, that Kazuya. I don't sugarcoat it. When this is the truth, I say it. When this is the truth, I say it. But at the moment, we have the situation that somehow some people band together that are on top in the FGC community, and this even happens in TOing, and then disregard the other side as if they are the wrong people now, even though the truth lies with them because they have the better argument. I just want to point this out.
Yeah, in an argument or in a discussion, there's never only you are right or only me I'm right. There's also the gray spot, in which someone can have a discussion and reach a conclusion. There's not only he's nuanced, he's wrong. There's not only black and white in a discussion. That's the main point.
But the thing is, they have a position that they cannot argue well. If they could argue it well, we would be like, okay, the longer we watch or the longer we hear them talk about. But every time when they talk, there is no argument. But when I hear from the other side, there is argumentatively based opinion. But the other side just like says, and this is the Twitter phenomena as well, why do you think this whole situation is created? It's like, the most popular people put this out, that the other side framing is just stupid and just drop the game 50-50, blah, 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 you are crying. And that destroys the conversation. If they are true, if they are right, they don't have to do this. That's the point.
Conversation should be a little bit more higher than just go play something else and you're wrong, basically,
Right, yeah.
I think I agree with what VDX is saying to some extent, but I also think you need to really look at what some characters can do in Heat, and then you need to see how much consumption they take. You have Kuma shitting out electrics for like 20 seconds. You have like Nina doing crazy shit. Like it's crazy. I feel like some characters can do too much, and other characters they can barely do much, Like me and Kokoma have to play with back one and shoulder. Amazing. 2+4 got nerfed to the ground. It's reactable. Like you can power pressure, you can jab it. Like I don't even need to say anything else.
I know, man. Steve only gets 2 clinches. Like he should get like way more than.
What do you think?
I agree.
You use a top 5 character according to some people, man. And you're listening to this. What do you think?
This conversation sucks. Like I'm just listening to everybody downplay their character. Look, this. The idea of it being
I don't think we're gonna be able to watch the whole thing. Maybe we can do a part
Let's listen to just chip damage, the last point, and then talk our last point, and then wrap it up. Because I think so far this was a very, very strong and efficient like podcast. Like to the point.
Yeah, I liked it too.
Was really to the point.
Maybe
Do you still have
maybe
time
we
for
can.
this last segment or not?
Who?
Yeah, I've got time.
Okay, what about you, Blaker?
It's up to you.
Maybe let's see. Because I have to go very soon. I don't know. Let's see. Maybe we can we go maybe to the conclusion. Maybe we can do this another time. Maybe a little bit more.
Okay.
Yeah, because I have to. It's a little bit late here, so that's why.
Okay.
Maybe yeah. If that's not, maybe you can do a part 2 of this podcast. I really loved it.
Yeah, no
Maybe if you
problem.
want to
Like it's okay. We
Okay,
wrap it up
let's
then.
go, let's go. Yeah, let's wrap it up.
All right. Well, then, do you have any last words to say? I mean, you wanna end?
Yeah, maybe. I think we discussed about the main points about the general state of Tekken 8. I wanted to have a discussion with you guys, and it was very, very interesting because I think we had a lot to say about, the things they said, the TMM's opinions that were very interesting to talk about, and why we disagree with the most of these things.
Yes.
But I don't think we flamed anyone. I think we had
No.
yeah, I think we had constructive criticism and opinions without saying that they are wrong with no reasoning. We just said our opinions, and I guess that was basically the most important thing we could have done. Basically,
Yeah.
I think we showed another face. Another face of the medal. Basically, that's how we say that in English, in Italy.
Yeah,
another
that
face
makes
of the
sense.
medal.
Yeah, another
We
point of
just
view,
showed,
basically.
Yeah, another point of view. We just said what we don't like about the game,
All right.
and at the end of the day, we still want the best for the game. We don't want it to go to the shitter.
Yeah.
We want it to become a better game, and we said what we should do in order to improve that, and hopefully they will do that in season 2. Because honestly, there's a lot of characters to fix. Most of the cast needs to be fixed right now.
Yeah.
Not gonna lie, but yeah.
What about you, Mike? You have any last words?
Yeah, I think that conversations need to continue to happen because I do think that Namco is paying attention, and I think it's good to make people feel like they can speak up about the game because even though there's bigger personalities telling them to basically be quiet or this is who you should be listening to, we outnumber them. So I think if the masses are saying the same thing over and over again, then Main Man and FDX, no disrespect to them, but they can say whatever they want. If everybody is saying the same thing, including the top players, then ultimately they're going to listen to where the money is, which is the masses. So I think people should continue doing what they're doing, continue making their voices heard, and hopefully Namco fixes it because I don't want Tekken to remain in the state that it's in.
Yeah.
It's good to know that when we saw Tekken originally and we saw the 2 token system, that they were willing to adjust it. So that's a good sign. Can only hope that they make further adjustments to the system so we can get back to playing some real Tekken instead of having every character turn into UI Goku every single match. It's really, really annoying and tiring. I've never wanted to turn a game off more. I've never wanted to play a game and then turn it off more. And it's a really like weird position to be in because I love Tekken. And then you play it and you're like, all right, I'm checked out. Whereas before I'd play Tag 2 and Tekken 7 for hours on end and not want to come off them. So there's clearly a problem there.
Yeah, true. Okay then, guys. Thank you so much for joining the podcast. Thank you, Blackheart, for making this possible. Also, big
Thank you,
shout
bro.
outs
Thank
to
you,
you, Mike, and really based takes and everyone. If you see this from my viewers, go check out Blackheart. Go check out MikeHollow. Also, always very reasonable takes. And I say we call it wraps and see you next time. GG.
Same for me. Same for me. Thank you so much
All right,
thank you
bye-bye.
so much for making this possible, guys. Thank you. Thank you so
GG.
much. Let's do it another time, maybe.
All
All right.
right, we do it. Bye bye.